Chapter 216. Lin Muyang sent Lu Yiping off, watching Lu Yiping's figure disappear into the distance. A long time after Lu Yiping's figure disappeared, his heart was still thumping loudly. After arriving at the Heavenly Dragon Divine Kingdom, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao went directly to the ancient dragon tomb. This time, they came to the Heavenly Dragon Divine Kingdom mainly to see Ao Mingting. However, when Lu Yiping activated the Eye of Lightning Punishment, he was surprised because there was no sign of Ao Mingting in the ancient dragon tomb. Lu Yiping asked Ao Yishuan, "Are you sure that your old ancestor has never come out after entering the ancient dragon tomb?" Ao Yishuan and Ao Bai were stunned. "What does Lord mean?" Ao Yishuan asked. "Ao Mingting is not in the ancient dragon tomb," Lu Yiping said. "Not here." Ao Yishuan and Ao Bai raised their voices. In their minds, their old ancestor had never come out after entering the ancient dragon tomb. Now, hearing Lu Yiping say that their old ancestor was not in the ancient dragon tomb, they were dumbfounded. Lu Yiping searched again with the Eye of Thunder Punishment. He searched through all the spaces in the ancient dragon tomb, but he still couldn't find Ao Mingting. If Ao Mingting was dead, his corpse wouldn't have rotted so quickly. But now, there was nothing, which meant that Ao Mingting had left the ancient dragon tomb. It was just that Ao Yishuan and the others didn't know. The moon was bright and the stars were sparse. Lu Yiping stood in the courtyard arranged by Ao Yishuan, watering the rainbow gourd while thinking about Ao Mingting. Where did Ao Mingting go? Since he had left the ancient dragon tomb, why didn't he inform Ao Yishuan and the others? After watering the 2 bowls of Spring of Life, the rainbow gourd's purple gourd shone brightly. Afterward, Lu Yiping began to water the creation tree. After fusing with the 2 pieces of the snow-listening divine nation, the creation tree had already grown to a height of more than 5 meters. It had many branches, and there were dozens of leaves on the branches. The leaves were very pleasant, and the veins on the surface of the leaves were like heaven-splitting runes. Next, Lu Yiping began to comprehend the 3rd Good Fortune Jade Disc. The 3rd Good Fortune Jade Disc was the same as the 2nd one. It recorded the 100 Great Daos. Among the 100 Great Daos, there was the Tao of Thunder, the Tao of Wind, the Tao of Pills, and the Tao of Beasts. If he could comprehend the way of thunder, then he would be able to truly control the strongest power of thunder in the world. If he could comprehend the way of wind, then he would be able to transform into the wind of the world. He would be able to travel with the wind and be everywhere. If he could comprehend the Tao of alchemy, then he would be the true alchemy ancestor. He would be able to refine any kind of divine pill in the world. If he could comprehend the beast core, then he would be able to control the beasts of myriad worlds. Even the strongest heaven-splitting divine beast in the world and the strongest devil abyss beast in hell would be under his control. Moreover, there was still no news of the ancient fiend god Chang Liang. Therefore, Lu Yiping was not in a hurry to leave the divine nation. He stayed in the Sky Dragon Divine Nation, comprehending the Good Fortune Jade Disc and watering the creation tree every day. At the same time, Lu Yiping persisted in cultivating the longevity secret art. In this world, only the longevity secret art could grant immortality. Now, Lu Yiping, who had cultivated the longevity secret art to the 49th level, could be said to have the same lifespan as the world. However, the 49th level of the longevity secret art could only grant him the same lifespan as the world. Lu Yiping felt that only when he cultivated the longevity secret art to the 50th level and above could he live forever. At that time, even if the universe was destroyed, he would not be afraid. He would also live forever. The Good Fortune Jade Disc only had 49 levels of the longevity secret art, so he had to comprehend and explore the rest on his own. On this day, the Heavenly Inquiry Pavilion replied to Lu Yiping, saying that there was news of the ancient fiend god Chang Liang. They found out that Chang Liang had left the eternal origin plane through the Divine Nation's spatial passage. As for Luo Shui's jade flute, their chief pavilion master found it in an abandoned city in the eternal demon domain and gave Lu Yiping its exact location. Chang Liang left the eternal origin plane. Taurus Longjiao was puzzled. What is this kid doing? Lord, the 9 stars emissary is outside, asking to see you. While Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were thinking about the ancient fiend god Chang Liang, Aoi Xuan came in from outside and reported. The 9 stars emissary? Lu Yiping asked. Yes, he's one of the Lord of 9 stars generals. His name is Chao Hua, and he's in the main hall now, Aoi Xuan said carefully. He might be here because of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom. Let's go out and take a look. Lu Yiping's expression was normal as he left the courtyard with Taurus Longjiao and Aoi Xuan. When they arrived at the main hall, they saw a middle-aged man wearing star battle armor standing in the middle of the hall with his hands behind his back. There were seats beside the hall, but he didn't sit. Instead, he examined the carvings in the hall. When Chao Hua saw Lu Yiping and the others come out, his gaze fell on Lu Yiping. He put down his hands behind his back and didn't salute. He said, "Are you the holy demon's master?" "I am," Lu Yiping said calmly. "What is it?" Chao Hua took out an invitation and tossed it to Lu Yiping. "In a few days, it will be our Lord of 9 Stars' 100,000th birthday. This is an invitation from our Lord. Our Lord said that you must come. He has something to tell you." Lu Yiping didn't take the invitation and let it fall to the ground. He looked at Chao Hua. "I must come. He has something to tell me. What if I don't go?" When Chao Hua saw that Lu Yiping hadn't taken the invitation he'd thrown at him and had instead allowed the Lord of 9 Stars' invitation to land in the main hall, his expression darkened. "Since the Lord of 9 Stars has specifically requested that you attend, I advise you to attend. Also, you'd better pick up the Lord of 9 Stars' invitation. If you pick it up immediately and put it away, I can pretend I didn't see it. Otherwise, I'll report everything to the Lord of 9 Stars." Chao Hua said coldly. However, as soon as he said this, he saw little fish appear in Taurus Longjiao's hand. Little fish suddenly smashed him to the ground. The hall shook. Taurus Longjiao put little fish away and walked over. As he walked over, he stepped on the invitation. The invitation exploded into countless pieces. Taurus Longjiao walked up to Chao Hua and stomped on his head, flattening it. "Who the hell is the Lord of 9 Stars? Does he have something to tell our Lord? Do you think I won't go over and stomp on his head right now?" Lu Yiping looked at Chao Hua, whose face was filled with anger, astonishment, and disbelief. "Go back and tell your Lord that I'll be at his birthday banquet. Tell him not to meddle in the affairs of the prison-suppressing divine kingdom. Otherwise, I'll wring his head off during the banquet." Lu Yiping's voice was indifferent, but there was a chill in it that made one's heart palpitate. Taurus Longjiao kicked Chao Hua out of the hall. "Get lost." Chao Hua was sent flying and tumbled to the square outside the hall. After a long while, he stood up, trembling. Chapter 217. However, Chao Hua did not dare to say anything, and he sped away. Aoi Xuan looked at Chao Hua's departing figure with a wry smile. In fact, when Chao Hua came to deliver the invitation, he had already guessed this would happen. Lu Yiping did not put Chao Hua's departure to heart, and continued to comprehend the fortune jade disc and cultivate the longevity secret art. The next day, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others left the Heavenly Dragon Divine Country, arriving at the abandoned city mentioned by the Heavenly Inquiry Pavilion in the ancient demon domain. However, after searching for a while, they did not find anything. In the end, Lu Yiping could only leave in disappointment. After leaving, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao made a trip to the Heavenly Inquiry Pavilion's General Pavilion, asking the General Pavilion Master to keep it for him if he found something similar to silver ore in the future. The Heavenly Inquiry Pavilion's General Pavilion Master hurriedly complied. After that, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left through the Divine Soil Space Tunnel, leaving the Eternal Origin world surface and arriving at the vast galaxy. Outside the Eternal Origin world was the endless galaxy. Lu Yiping and the others stood in the Star River, gazing into the distance. The Star River was deep, empty, and quiet. Only the whistling of the wind could be heard. This was the sound of the Star River storm sweeping across the Star River. In the vast galaxy, there were not only galactic storms, but also space hailstorms and the possibility of encountering giant galactic beasts. Therefore, if one wanted to travel across the galaxy without a certain level of strength, it was akin to courting death. Generally speaking, only the world's surface lord and above dared to travel across the galaxy. Occasionally, there were peak late-stage heavenly god realm experts who would travel across the galaxy, but the danger was high. A peak late-stage heavenly god realm expert could die without leaving a corpse behind. This galaxy is still the most comfortable to look at. Taurus Longjiao sighed with emotion, vast, spacious, mysterious, and full of the unknown. He then added, just like a woman's heart. He Xia, Long Gu, Qiyu, and Ba Dao were dumbfounded. Lu Yiping took out a flying ship. This flying ship was 1,000 zhang long, entirely black in color. There was a giant black dragon engraved on the ship's body, and the black dragon totem patterns twined around the entire ship. This was the spaceship of the ancient Black Dragon clan. Let's go. Lu Yiping jumped onto the spaceship. He Xia and the other three were stunned for a moment before they followed Taurus Longjiao onto the spaceship. Lu Yiping took out a connate spirit vein and placed it in the core of the flying ship's array formation. The flying ship's array formation activated, and in an instant, the flying ship turned into a streak of black light and shot off into the distance. His speed was so fast that He Xia and the other three were left speechless. When they encountered some galactic storms, the spaceship did not go around them. Instead, it went straight through them. When the spaceship blasted through, the galactic storm that could instantly tear apart a peak late-stage planar lord and seriously injure an ordinary planar lord dissipated. Standing in the spaceship, He Xia and the other three were shocked and they saw the astral tempest dissipated. Could this spaceship be a supreme-grade acquired spiritual treasure? Not long after, they saw a white haze in front of them. When they got closer, He Xia and the other three could see that it was a shocking hailstorm. The hailstorm in this galaxy was incomparable to the hailstorm in this plane. Even a planar lord would be frozen into ice if they were touched by the hailstorm. However, the spaceship still blasted through it. When the spaceship plowed through the hailstorm that covered tens of thousands of li was blasted away. It was a spectacular sight from afar. The spaceship passed through the hailstorm unscathed and continued its journey. Just as Lu Yiping and the others were driving the ship towards the 9-star plane, Chao Hua, who had returned to the 9-star city, knelt in front of the 9-star hall, not daring to breathe. Standing in front of him was a majestic figure with 9 stars hovering above him. The stellar energy in his body surged like the sea. He was like the ruler of the starry sky. It was the 14th on the god list. The Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong. Although Yuan Jiahong wasn't in the top 10 of the god ranking list, even the top 10 didn't dare to underestimate him. After all, Yuan Jiahong's background was unfathomable. Yuan Jiahong stood with his hands clasped behind his back. There wasn't any anger on his face as he looked at the horizon. You're saying that not only did Lu Yiping not accept my invitation, but his slave trampled on my invitation? Chao Hua lowered his head and said nervously, Yes, Lord. This lowly one doesn't dare to lie. Moreover, he said that if Lord dares to interfere with the hell-suppressing divine nation's matters, he will wring Lord's head off during Lord's banquet. A sharp glint flashed across Yuan Jiahong's eyes. He shook his head and said, There are indeed many arrogant and foolish people in this world. Back then, Song Yi also said that he would cut off my head, but in the end, he couldn't even withstand a punch from me. He was smashed into pieces by my fist. Even his flesh and blood were devoured by my astral beast. Song Yi was the expert ranked 33rd on the god ranking list who had challenged Yuan Jiahong. At this time, a somewhat effeminate young man in a flowery robe in the main hall said, Lord, do you want me to go to the divine land and wring Lu Yiping's head off? This young man was Lin Yidong, Yuan Jiahong's strongest subordinate. He was also an expert ranked 57th on the God ranking list. Yuan Jiahong waved his hand and said, "He's just an insignificant grasshopper. Let him jump for a while. This Lu guy thinks that he can challenge me just because he killed Fu Zangsheng. He's courting death. During the banquet, none of you are allowed to make a move. I will personally wring his head off." Lin Yidong nodded. Yuan Jiahong changed the topic and asked, "The people from the Xiankang Island and the Scattered Star Sea should be arriving soon, right?" The Xiankang Island was the second most powerful force in the Void Plain, second only to the Maha clan. The Scattered Star Sea was the third most powerful force in the Void Plain. This time, he had also invited experts from the Xiankang Island and the Scattered Star Sea to his banquet. They should be arriving soon. 3 days at most, Lin Yidong replied. Okay. Be prepared to welcome them. Don't be rude, Yuan Jiahong said. Just as 9-Star City was preparing for Yuan Jiahong's birthday banquet, the northern sky of the 9-Star Realm suddenly darkened. A spaceship tore open the realm wall and appeared in the sky. It was Lu Yiping's Black Dragon spaceship. Lu Yiping put away the Black Dragon spaceship and identified the direction. Then, he flew away with Taurus Longjiao and the others. After arriving at a nearby city, Lu Yiping inquired about the location of the ancient desolate forest. Lu Yiping and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull continued on their way. When night fell, Lu Yiping and the others finally arrived at the desolate forest. Under the night sky, the desolate forest was very foggy. Faint sounds of ferocious beasts could be heard coming from the depths of the forest. Other than ferocious beasts, there were also some strange sounds. Not long after Lu Yiping and the others entered the desolate forest, they saw a fire in front of them. When they walked over to take a look, they were surprised to see a group of 7 Spirit Fox clan disciples sitting around a bonfire, eating barbecued meat and drinking wine. This group of 7 Spirit Fox clan disciples were not weak. Some of them were in the divine spirit realm, while others were in the true immortal realm. There were 30 to 40 of them. The 7 Spirit Fox clan disciples obviously did not expect anyone to come over. They all stood up vigilantly. Chapter 218. Seeing the 7 Spirit Fox disciples tense and alert, Lu Yiping said, "We're just passing by. We don't have any other intentions." With that, he left with Taurus Longjiao and the others. The disciples of the 7 Spirit Fox clan heaved a sigh of relief when they saw Lu Yiping and the others leave. One of them said, "Senior Sister Jing, these people are so sneaky. They might have other intentions." Fang Jing shook her head. "It's better to avoid trouble. Just be vigilant. Our Lord of 9 Stars is challenging Lord Sun Jingda." "I wonder if the news is true," a 7 Spirit Fox disciple suddenly said. "Lord Sun Jingda is ranked 10th on the God list. If our Lord of 9 Stars succeeds, won't she enter the top 10? Everyone exclaimed. Fang Jing nodded. "It should be true. The news has already spread. The Lord of 9 Stars wants to challenge Sun Jingda before the birthday banquet." At this point, his face was filled with excitement and worship. "I heard that the Lord of 9 Stars broke through not long ago and became an ancient god." "What? An ancient god? No wonder the Lord of 9 Stars dares to challenge Lord Sun Jingda." The 7 Spirit Fox disciples were all excited. Fang Jing sighed. Ever since the primordial age, there have been very few people in the 17 planes who have broken through to the ancient god realm. Once you comprehend the god realm's law and break through to the ancient god realm, you will be truly invincible. Not only will your lifespan increase greatly, but your strength will also reach an unimaginable level. Lu Yiping and the others didn't know what the 7 Spirit Fox disciples were talking about. After Lu Yiping left, they continued to fly deeper into the desolate forest. By now, the creation tree had grown to over 5 meters tall and could sense if there were any creation tree chunks within 500 meters. Therefore, Lu Yiping didn't fly too fast. He flew slowly and sensed the creation tree chunks around him. At the same time, Lu Yiping activated his Eye of Thunder punishment and scanned his surroundings. The ancient desolation forest was an extremely ancient forest that had existed since the ancient times. Lu Yiping felt that there were definitely many foundation tree blocks in this ancient desolation forest. In order to increase the chances of finding the building tree blocks, Lu Yiping released all of the planar lords from the Infinity Star Palace. He had them split into groups of 10 and spread out to search for the suspected building tree blocks. Not long after Lu Yiping's group started their search, they encountered a ferocious beast. This ferocious beast was a giant bear the size of a small hill. However, before this giant bear could approach, it was sent flying by He Xia and the other three. Finally, in order to reduce the disturbance, the four masters of black evil released their auras. Immediately, the ferocious beasts were so frightened that they all fled in fear. After flying for half an hour, Lu Yiping suddenly received a message from one of the groups. "Lord, we found a tree block that looks like the one you mentioned." Lu Yiping was delighted. In a flash, he arrived beside the group of 10. However, when he saw the tree blocks in their hands, he couldn't help but feel disappointed. Although the tree blocks in their hands looked like the foundation tree blocks, they weren't. Lu Yiping's group continued to move forward. Suddenly, the foundation tree in Lu Yiping's body began to vibrate. "This is..." Lu Yiping was overjoyed. His figure flashed, and he arrived in front of a small hill in front of him. Then, he punched the small hill, and at the bottom of the hill, there was a fist-sized piece of tree. It was the foundation tree block. Although it was only the size of a fist, Lu Yiping was still delighted. This proved that his previous guess was correct. There must be more foundation tree blocks in this desolate forest. Picking up the foundation tree block, Lu Yiping directly swallowed it and merged with it before continuing his search. The desolate forest was huge. With Lu Yiping's group speed, it would take them at least a month to finish searching. However, Lu Yiping wasn't in a hurry and continued his search. Not long after finding the first foundation tree block, Lu Yiping found another one. However, this one was even smaller, only the size of 2 thumbs. Lu Yiping was sweating profusely. Although it was only the size of 2 thumbs, Lu Yiping didn't let it go and merged it with the foundation tree. Now, for the sake of the foundation tree's growth and for the sake of his ability to travel between worlds, no matter how small it was, he treated it like a treasure. The night passed. The sky gradually brightened. After searching for an entire night, the harvest wasn't small. Lu Yiping found 6 foundation tree blocks, but they weren't big. The biggest one was only the size of 2 fists. In addition to the 6 foundation tree blocks found by Lu Yiping, He Xia's group of 100,000 also found 2 foundation tree blocks. Moreover, both foundation tree blocks weren't small. One of them was more than a meter tall. Therefore, in just one night, the 5-meter-tall foundation tree had grown to more than 6 meters tall. This was even bigger than Lu Yiping's 1 year of watering. Of course, he hadn't watered it for a full year yet. As the foundation tree grew to more than 6 meters tall, its sensing range increased. It could now sense everything within 600 meters. After the sky brightened, the dense fog in the ancient desolate forest gradually brightened. Compared to the cold and gloomy desolate forest at night, the desolate forest in the morning was fresh, green, and full of vitality. Lu Yiping stood high in the sky and waved to the group of 100,000 existential plane rulers. Continue. After last night's harvest, Lu Yiping was now full of energy. Everyone, search well today. Lu Yiping said. Tonight, I will treat everyone to the everlasting wine. He Xia and the others immediately cheered, yes, sir. The sound waves shook the surrounding ancient trees, causing many green fruits to fall. Everyone continued. 100,000 people split into groups of 10. They spread out and advanced into the depths of the desolate forest. Just as Lu Yiping and the others continued to search for the foundation tree blocks, the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples, who had rested for the night, also began to advance into the depths of the desolate forest. This time, they had entered the desolate forest to search for the fruit of a divine tree. However, after walking for half an hour, they couldn't help but feel puzzled. This was because they hadn't encountered a single ferocious beast. They didn't even encounter a weak ferocious beast. They didn't even hear the sounds of ferocious beasts, let alone their figures. It was as if the entire desolate forest had become empty. What's going on? Aren't there many ferocious beasts in the desolate forest? Why haven't we encountered a single one today? A 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple asked in surprise. This caused the people, who were originally on high alert, to relax. Fang Jing was also puzzled. She said, "Did something happen in the desolate forest? Did all the ferocious beasts hide here?" Another 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple suddenly said, "These ferocious beasts couldn't have been killed, right? Look, there are traces of ferocious beasts' blood." He pointed at a pool of blood in the sand. Fang Jing walked over to the pool of blood. She touched it and said, "They should have been killed last night." She then said with a grave expression, "An expert has entered the desolate forest. Everyone, be careful and be vigilant. Once we find the item, we will immediately return to the 7 Spirit Fox clan." "Yes, Senior Sister Jing." Chapter 219. The sunlight continued to illuminate the ancient forest and the figures of Lu Yiping and the others who were working hard. Under the sunlight, the figures of Lu Yiping and the others were covered in a layer of golden light. As Lu Yiping and the others pushed forward, the sun slowly set in the west. At dusk, Lu Yiping asked everyone to stop. When He Xia and the others stopped, Lu Yiping smiled and said, "Let's start a fire, roast meat and drink." Everyone cheered. Immediately, 10 people in a group started 10,000 bonfires. Then, they sat in a circle, roasted meat, and drank wine. The fragrance of meat and wine filled the air. The night gradually darkened, but the ancient forest became warmer. Lu Yiping, the dragon horn golden bull, He Xia, and the others sat together and ate the barbecued meat. Today's harvest was even better than last night's. They found 8 pieces last night, and today, they found more than 20 pieces. Perhaps it was because of the bright sunlight. To be exact, there were 23 pieces. Moreover, the big ones were 3 to 4 meters in size. After fusing with these 23 tree pieces, the creation tree had grown to more than 20 meters in height. More than 20 meters could already be considered a big tree. Now, the creation tree was surrounded by primal chaos energy and specks of golden light. It was becoming more and more beautiful. Of course, it was also becoming more and more like the #1 divine tree in the world. The patterns on the creation tree's leaves were also becoming clearer. These patterns were like heaven-splitting words, as if they were describing the principles of heaven and earth. Lu Yiping felt that these patterns hid a heaven-splitting cultivation technique. If he could successfully comprehend it, he could cultivate it together with the longevity art and the fortune jade disc, and his strength would increase by another step. However, the creation tree was only 20 meters in height, and the leaves had only grown a little. Therefore, this heaven-splitting cultivation technique was still incomplete. In order to complete this heaven-opening technique, he had to find more tree blocks as soon as possible. As for the Sun Fusang tree, Lu Yiping had also used the spring of life to water it. He had successfully cultivated it and planted it on a piece of Jiutian soil. However, the Sun Fusang tree wasn't very useful to him. Therefore, Lu Yiping had allowed it to grow without wasting the spring of life on it. Just as Lu Yiping's group stopped to eat and drink, the 7 Spirit Fox tribe's disciples also arrived. "Senior Sister Jing, look. Why are there so many flames in front of us?" A 7 Spirit Fox clan disciple exclaimed. Fang Jing and the other 7 Spirit Fox disciples looked over. When they saw that the forest was filled with fire, they were very surprised. Could it be that a large sect is here? A disciple was surprised. Should we go up and take a look? Fang Jing shook her head. I don't know if he's a friend or a foe. Forget it, let's take a detour. She then led the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples to take a detour. However, even after taking a long detour, they still saw the fire. The further they went, the brighter the fire became. No matter how hard they tried, the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples couldn't avoid it. Why are there so many fire lights? How many people did this large sect send? The 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples were shocked. I'm afraid there are 30 to 40,000 people. Could they all be divine spirit realm experts? This ancient desolate forest is filled with ferocious beasts. Only divine spirit realm experts and above would dare to come here. Everyone was bewildered. 30 to 40,000 divine spirit realm experts were dispatched in one go. Only the 9-star world's top 10 super forces had this kind of strength. Fang Jing hesitated for a moment, then said, let's go up and greet them. She then added, everyone must be respectful. Don't show any disrespect. She then led the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples forward. As they got closer, Fang Jing saw the group sitting around the bonfire. When she saw Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others, she couldn't help but feel surprised. It's you guys. The 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples also recognized Lu Yiping, and they were all surprised. Wasn't this the young man they met last night? Last night, they were still saying that these people were sneaky. After Fang Jing recovered from her surprise, she said to Lu Yiping, I didn't expect to meet young master again. Lu Yiping smiled, what a coincidence. Do you want to come over and have a seat? Fang Jing didn't expect Lu Yiping to invite her. She hesitated for a moment, then shook her head, many thanks for young master's kindness. We still have something to look for. She then bid farewell and left. Fang Jing led the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples away, disappearing into the night. Fang Jing only let out a sigh of relief when they were far away. Those people seemed to be respectful to that young man. I wonder which sect's young master is that young man? A 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple asked in surprise. Those people are very strong. They should be stronger than me. A late-stage True God Realm 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple said. Everyone was shocked. Senior Brother Mu, are you saying that they are peak late-stage True God Realm experts or even Heavenly God Realm experts? A 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple said in disbelief, how is that possible? Fang Jing was also bewildered. The night deepened. After Lu Yiping and the others had eaten their fill, they continued to work in groups of 10. 7 days passed. After fusing with more than 100 tree pieces, the builder tree had grown to 110 meters tall. Every night when the sun set, Lu Yiping and the others would start a fire, drink, and eat meat. After eating their fill, they would continue to work. As the builder tree grew taller, its sensing range also increased. When it grew to 100 meters tall, its sensing range had expanded to 10 miles. As its sensing range had increased, the speed of searching increased. On the 10th day, Lu Yiping finally finished searching the entire desolate forest. After 10 days, Lu Yiping dug out all the builder tree's tree pieces that were hidden in every corner of the desolate forest. The builder tree had finally grown to 140 meters tall. The 140 meters tall builder tree needed more than 20 people to wrap their arms around its trunk. The tree trunk was as straight as a heavenly pillar. Chaos energy was rising around the tree trunk. Looking at it from afar, it made one's soul tremble. Even Taurus Longjiao couldn't help but sigh when he saw the 140 meters tall builder tree absorbing chaos energy. Lu Yiping realized that when the builder tree grew to 100 meters tall, his speed of comprehending the heavenly steel and cultivating the fortune jade discs Tao increased by a lot. Moreover, when the builder tree grew to 100 meters tall, its leaves were lush, and the heaven-opening cultivation technique became more complete. Lu Yiping felt that when the builder tree grew to a height of 300 meters, he would be able to comprehend the heaven-opening cultivation technique from the builder tree's leaves. After searching the desolate forest, Lu Yiping recalled the 100,000 planar lords back to the Wuji Star Palace. Then, he left the desolate forest with Taurus Longjiao and the others and went to a nearby city. When they arrived, almost everyone in the streets and alleys was talking about the Lord of Nine Stars' challenge to Sunjungda, who was ranked 10th on the god list. The Lord of Nine Stars has issued a challenge, and Lord Sunjungda has already accepted it. The location is in the Purple Star Sea. Many experts have already rushed over. Chapter 220. Back then, the Lord of Nine Stars killed Song Yi in the Purple Star Sea. Now, she's challenging Lord Sunjungda to a duel in the Purple Star Sea. It goes without saying. This duel will definitely be spectacular. The experts of Xiankong Island and the Scattered Star Sea have all come to support Lord Nine Stars. Sounds of discussion rose and fell on the streets. Oh, that kid Yuan Jiahong broke through to the ancient god realm and wants to challenge the top 10 on the god list, Taurus Longjiao said to Lu Yiping. Master, should we go and take a look? Lu Yiping shook his head. There's nothing to see. At this time, a family disciple in a nearby tea house said, there's one more thing. I don't know if you know, but the Lord of Nine Stars sent an invitation to Lu Yiping for her birthday banquet. Not only did Lu Yiping not accept it, but he even had his subordinates crush the invitation. He even attacked Lord Chao Hua, who delivered the invitation. Lord Chao Hua was kicked out. The crowd was in an uproar when they heard this. There's such a thing. This Lu Yiping doesn't know his place. The Lord of Nine Stars invited him, but his subordinates crushed the invitation and even attacked Lord Chao Hua. Everyone was filled with righteous indignation. Moreover, this Lu Yiping said to Lord Chao Hua that if the Lord of Nine Stars dares to interfere with the hell-suppressing divine nation's affairs, he'll wring the Lord of Nine Stars' head off during the banquet. The family disciple said. Instantly, the indignant crowd became even angrier. Some even slammed the table. Who the hell is this Lu Yiping? He just entered the god list. How dare he say he'll wring the Lord of Nine Stars' head off? The Lord of Nine Stars killed Song Yi with one move back then. This Lu Yiping is nothing in front of the Lord of Nine Stars. The family disciple continued, that's why the Lord of Nine Stars told Lord Lin Yidong that no one is allowed to make a move during the banquet. He wants to wring Lu Yiping's head off with his own hands and feed it to his astral beast. He Xia and the others frowned when they heard the discussion in the tea house. Master, are we going to Nine Star City now? Taurus Longjiao asked Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping shook his head. The birthday banquet is just around the corner. There's no hurry. The Sky-Setting Mountain Range was the largest mountain range in the Nine-Star realm. It spanned across several regions and was one of the oldest mountain ranges in the Nine-Star realm. In the depths of the Sky-Setting Mountain Range, there were layers of restrictions and countless ferocious beasts. On this day, in the sky above the Sky-Fixing Mountain Range, several figures appeared. They were none other than Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and several others. Previously, Lu Yiping had bought the Myriad God token from the Secret Chamber of Commerce, but he hadn't gone to look for the Myriad God Master's cave abode. This was because the Myriad God Master's cave abode wasn't in Eternal Prime, but in the Set Sky Mountain Range. Lu Yiping took out the Myriad Deity's token and sensed the location of the cave abode. He then headed south of the Sky-Fixing Mountain Range with Taurus Longjiao and the rest. In the end, Lu Yiping's group arrived at a large mountain peak in the south. The mountain peak was filled with birdsong and fragrant flowers. He Xia's group even saw a rare 100-feathered bird. This 100-feathered bird's feathers had 100 different colors. Other than the 100-feathered bird, there were also other rare species. Lu Yiping stretched out his hand, and a drop of light dripped down, breaking the restrictions on the mountain peak. Then, they arrived at the mountain's waist. Halfway up the mountain, there was a large platform. From here, one could see the surrounding scenery of the valley. Under the sunlight, the mountain's scenery was beautiful. Lu Yiping arrived in front of a mountain wall and pressed his palm against it. In an instant, the mountain wall collapsed, revealing a spatial tunnel. Lightning flashed at the entrance of the spatial tunnel. The destructive power contained in the lightning caused He Xie's group to feel their scalps go numb. However, Lu Yiping directly passed through the spatial tunnel. When Lu Yiping passed through, the destructive lightning stopped abruptly and disappeared without a trace. Taurus Longjiao followed behind Lu Yiping and entered the spatial tunnel. He Xie's group regained their senses and hurriedly followed. After passing through a long spatial tunnel, their eyes lit up as they arrived at a spacious space. In this space, there were mountains and rivers. In front of the mountains, there was a plain. The plain was filled with all kinds of spiritual herbs and divine trees. The divine trees were filled with sparkling fruits that flickered with light. As for the spiritual herbs, they were colorful. He Xie's group discovered that these spiritual herbs were all at least 1,000,000 years old. The 1,000,000 years old spiritual herbs were planted there. The sky was wide and the earth was wide. They swayed with the wind and emitted a fragrance. They were like wild flowers that no one picked. He Xie's group was stunned. They thought that they were in an illusion. The 1,000,000 years old spiritual herbs were growing there. They filled the entire plain. Moreover, the fruits on the divine trees were even more precious than these spiritual herbs. Lu Yiping came to the side of a divine tree and plucked a golden fruit. He took a bite and the fruit's fragrance splashed in his mouth. "If you want, you can do it yourselves," Lu Yiping said to He Xie's group. He Xie's group was moved. However, when they came to the front of the divine tree, they were very careful when plucking the fruit. They were afraid of damaging the leaves. The leaves of these divine trees were also very precious. Seeing this, Lu Yiping smiled and walked into the plain. There was a small path in the plain that led directly to the mountain peak at the end of the plain. On the mountain peak, there was a super large palace. The palace sat on the mountain peak and took up almost half of the mountain peak. It was the cave residence that the master of myriad gods built in the past. Taurus Longjiao followed Lu Yiping to the palace on the mountain peak. From the palace to the plain was filled with flowers and trees. It was incomparably beautiful and pleasing to the eye. "Su Cheng, this kid's taste is not bad." Taurus Longjiao looked at the 1,000,000 years old flowers and trees at the foot of the mountain and said with emotion, "The wind blows the flowers and the sun shines on the cow's body." He Xie's group wanted to but they didn't dare to. Lu Yiping glanced at Taurus Longjiao's fur and said with a smile, "This is the Sunshine's golden retriever, right?" Taurus Longjiao was stunned and said with a smile, "Master's taste is still higher than Su Cheng's." Lu Yiping resisted the urge to kick this guy down the mountain. He then looked at the majestic palace in front of him. The myriad gods token in his hand surged with light and opened the palace's restrictions. He then stepped inside. The palace's floor was made of various divine jades, and the stone pillars were made of a type of primordial stone. There were all kinds of extravagant materials. On the walls of the palace, there were all kinds of divine statues, patterns, and runes. It was a soul-stirring sight. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at the palace's treasury. When Lu Yiping pushed open the treasury's door, a dazzling light illuminated the entire mountain peak. There were countless heavenly treasures, divine weapons, divine pills, and all kinds of other treasures. He Xie's group was dazzled. As the master of myriad gods, Su Cheng's wealth was shocking. The treasuries of the current super forces couldn't compare. Not to mention the hell-suppressing divine kingdom and demon dragon palace, even the Lord of 9 Stars and the Maha clan couldn't compare. Chapter 221. Lu Yiping walked into the treasury and looked at the heavenly treasures all over the ground. He looked at the sky full of spirit veins that were like dragons swimming in the sky. However, his expression remained the same. To others, These things were priceless treasures, but to him, they were dispensable. What he needed now was a heaven-splitting spring of life and a heaven-splitting cultivation art. Lu Yiping took a cursory glance as he walked deeper into the treasury. The treasury was as large as a city. If an ordinary person walked from the door to the end, it would take them 10 days to half a month to reach the end. Finally, Lu Yiping reached the end of the treasury. There were several boxes at the end of the treasury, each of them covered in restrictions. Clearly, these were the most important items of the Master of Myriad Gods. Lu Yiping opened them one by one. One was a jade bottle, within which was a medicinal pill. The medicinal pill had already taken the form of a Taoist, who sat cross-legged within the jade bottle, cultivating. This Taoist wasn't weak. The other was a human-shaped tree ginseng. This tree ginseng was extraordinary. It was golden all over and dozens of meters tall. When it was opened, medicinal fragrance filled the entire treasury, overshadowing the fragrance of all the divine pills and spirit medicines. One of them was a sealed spirit vein. This spirit vein shone with 9 colors and was thousands of kilometers long, like a river of 9 colors. There was also a jade box with a book inside. However, there was nothing in the book. Taurus Longjiao looked at the pill and tree ginseng and swallowed hard. If he swallowed these two things, his fur would become even more golden. Moreover, it would be golden oil. Wow, is this the 9-colored glass vein? Taurus Longjiao looked at the spirit vein and exclaimed, I didn't expect Su Cheng to have such a precious treasure. Lu Yiping's expression remained unchanged. The 9-color glaze vein was a rare spiritual vein. Unfortunately, this 9-color glaze vein was not even 10 million years old. Lu Yiping, on the other hand, was reading the book. Although there was no content in the book, Lu Yiping was reading it with great interest. Taurus Longjiao was also engrossed. Black Fiend and the others stood there in a daze. They really couldn't see what was so interesting about a completely blank book that didn't have any content. After a while, Lu Yiping put the book away. He would read it later. After putting the 9-colored glass vein, the tree ginseng, the Taoist pill, and the other items into the cauldron of heaven and earth, Lu Yiping left the treasury. They walked around the palace again. It was a huge maze, and the palace was designed according to the primeval heavenly court. Even 10,000 years. Lu Yiping didn't leave immediately. He stayed in the palace for a day. A day later, when Lu Yiping left the cave residence, he simply took away all the flowers and plants in the entire palace as well as the entire plain. These flowers and divine trees grew slowly here. Therefore, he planted all of them in his 5 elements divine soil. He had a piece of 5 elements divine soil. Although it wasn't as good as Jiutian living soil, it was second only to Jiutian living soil. These flowers and divine trees would grow several times faster on it. After he left the cave. Let's go to 9-Star City. Lu Yiping looked in the direction of 9-Star City and flew away. His voice echoed among the peaks of the sky-fixing mountain range. At the same time, the Purple Star Ocean not far from 9-Star City was crowded with people. These experts came from various forces in the 9-Star realm. Some even came from the surrounding realms. They came here for the battle between the Lord of 9-Star Yuan Jiahong and Sun Jingda. The Lord of 9-Star is here. And the experts from the Xiankang Island and the Scattered Star Ocean. Above the Purple Star Ocean, the crowd suddenly became restless. A large group of experts flew over from the distant horizon. The leader was the Lord of 9-Star Yuan Jiahong, who was wearing the starry battle armor. In addition to Yuan Jiahong and the experts from 9-Star City, there were also experts from the Xiankang Island and the Scattered Star Ocean. The Xiankang Island and the Scattered Star Ocean were not only the second and third strongest forces in the Void Plane, but they were also one of the top 10 super forces in the 17 realms. After Yuan Jiahong arrived, he flew into the sky above the center of the Purple Star Ocean and stood in the air. At this moment, several figures flew over. These figures were extremely fast. They arrived above the purple star ocean in the blink of an eye. It's Lord Sun Jungda. The crowd was shocked. The silver-haired old man in the lead was Sun Jungda, who ranked 10th on the god list. This time, Sun Jungda didn't bring many people. He only brought a few disciples. When Sun Jungda arrived, his battle robe fluttered even though there was no wind. We don't need to talk nonsense. Let's do it, Sun Jungda said. His voice was a little hoarse. After he finished speaking, an earth-shattering aura roared out. The planar laws wrapped around his body. 100 million. Everyone was shocked. 100 million was the limit of a planar master, and Sun Jungda's planar laws were exactly 100 million. The experts from the Xiankong Island and the scattered star ocean were shocked, and they saw that Sun Jungda's planar laws had reached 100 million. Moreover, Sun Jungda's planar laws were thicker than many planar masters. Many planar masters' planar laws were only the size of a thumb, but Sun Jungda's planar laws were as thick as a baby's arm. The thicker the planar laws, the stronger the energy contained within. Sun Jungda suddenly struck out with his palm. The power of laws of 100 million planes transformed into a dazzling palm. This palm seemed to have come from the world of darkness. When the palm force broke through the air, the entire purple star ocean's seawater turned dark. The seawater was assimilated by the power of darkness in an instant. Palm of darkness. The palm of darkness came from an extremely distant world of darkness. The palm of darkness arrived in front of Yuan Jiahong in an instant. At this moment, the starlight around Yuan Jiahong's body trembled. Numerous planar laws wrapped around his body. These planar laws were different from the planar laws. Each planar law contained the supreme power of the divine world. Each planar law was superior to the planar laws. These were the divine world's planar laws. Along with these divine world's planar laws, a power that surpassed the planar masters surged out from his body like a flood. The palm of darkness's dark light was completely covered by the starlight. Everyone was stunned. Divine world's planar laws. Ancient God realm. Lord Nine Stars has indeed broken through to the ancient God realm. This is the primordial ancient God realm. When they saw the divine world's planar laws on Yuan Jiahong's body, the crowd boiled over. Although Sun Jungda had 100 million planar laws, and each planar law was as thick as a baby's arm, he was still only a planar master. But now, Yuan Jiahong had truly surpassed the planar master level. He had stepped into the ancient God realm. 9 Stars Fist. Yuan Jiahong's eyes shone brightly as he punched out. Instantly, the starlight in the sky turned into 9 stars and blasted the palm of darkness apart. Then, the 9 stars landed on Sun Jungda's body. Chapter 222. Boom! Heaven and earth rumbled. Even though Sun Jungda was wearing an acquired spirit treasure-level divine armor, even though Sun Jungda had used his strongest defensive cultivation technique, after being struck by the 9 stars, he was like a kite with its string cut as he was sent flying back across the purple star sea. In the end, Sun Jungda smashed into the sea at the end of the purple star sea. Huge waves exploded on the surface of the sea. Many of the huge waves even splashed onto the shore. These huge waves were like powerful hidden weapons. When they hit the shore, the soil on the shore was sent flying. Many experts were unable to dodge in time and were struck by these huge waves. Some of the weaker existential plane masters vomited blood, and some heavenly gods were even knocked unconscious. Everyone turned pale with fright when they saw this. Was this the power of an ancient god expert? So strong. Too strong. Such power was simply beyond everyone's imagination. Even some of the late-stage dimension controllers were terrified after seeing this. The 9-star fist was like 9 stars falling. Its power was unparalleled. No wonder Song Yi, who was ranked 33rd on the god list, was blown apart by Yuan Jiahong. Too strong. A late-stage dimension master exclaimed. Back then, the Lord of 9 Stars defeated Song Yi with a single punch. Now, the 9-star fist is 100 times stronger than before. No, it's more than 100 times stronger. This late-stage Dimension Master had also seen the battle between the Lord of 9 Stars and Song Yi. Back then, Yuan Jiahong had blown Song Yi apart with a single punch, which was visually shocking. But now, he had sent Sun Jingde flying with a single punch. This was even more shocking. Who was Sun Jingde? He was ranked 10th on the God list, but now, he couldn't even withstand a single punch from the Lord of 9 Stars. Fortunately, Sun Jingde was a dimension law of 100 million dimension masters. Moreover, the dimension laws were much thicker than the other dimension masters. If it had been a weaker existence, that punch would have blown them apart as well. While everyone was still in shock, the surface of the sea broke open, and Sun Jingde flew out. The divine armor on Sun Jingde's chest had completely exploded, and there were 9 terrifying holes in his chest. It was the result of the 9-star fist. The 9 holes were bleeding profusely. Everyone gasped. If Sun Jingde wasn't wearing the acquired spiritual treasure divine armor, his divine body would have been penetrated by that punch. Even the experts from the Xiankang Island and the Scattered Star Sea felt their hearts skip a beat. Master! Sun Jingde's disciples cried out in alarm, rushing to his side. Sun Jingde waved his hand, looking at Yuan Jiahong with envy and reverence. Congratulations, Brother 9 Star, for breaking through to the ancient God realm. After a pause, he added, I lost. I lost. When Sun Jingde's voice sounded, the purple star sea was thrown into a frenzy. Sun Jingde's admission of defeat meant that, from this moment on, the Lord of 9 Stars was ranked 10th on the God ranking list. A new top 10 expert on the divine list was born at this moment. The top 10 of the divine list hadn't been changed for many years. This moment would be recorded in the history of the divine ranking of the 17 planes. Congratulations, Brother 9 Stars. Even the Lord of Xiankang Island stepped forward and congratulated the Lord of 9 Stars with cupped fists. The Lord of the Scattered Star Seas stepped forward, clasped his hands, and congratulated the Lord of 9 Stars. Many late-stage and peak late-stage dimension masters stepped forward to congratulate the Lord of 9 Stars. As for the early-stage and mid-stage dimension masters, they didn't even have the right to congratulate her. After reaching the Lord of 9 Stars level, not just anyone could go up and talk to her. Now that the Lord of 9 Stars had broken through to the ancient God realm, even ordinary dimension masters wouldn't have the right to greet her. Yuan Jiahong nodded and smiled at the Lord of Xiankang Island and the Lord of the Scattered Star Seas. Thank you, everyone. He glanced at the various dimension masters who congratulated him and said, My birthday celebration is coming soon. Everyone, please come and have a few drinks. When the various dimension masters heard this, they were all overwhelmed by the unexpected favor. Of course, of course. It's our honor to be invited by the Lord of 9 Stars. A peak late-stage dimension master smiled at Yuan Jiahong. When that Lu brat finds out about this battle, he'll definitely be scared shitless. I think he'll be scared half to death. Long Tianhao, the strongest ancestor of the Dragon King sect, laughed. Everyone laughed. The Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong, waved his hand and said in a domineering voice, Return to 9 Stars City. Yes, Lord of 9 Stars. The experts of 9 Stars City answered loudly. Their voices shook the waves of the purple star sea. Surrounded by the experts of Xiankang Island, the Scattered Star Seas, and the Dragon King sect, Yuan Jiahong flew back to 9 Stars City. At the same time, Yuan Jiahong ordered, Tomorrow is the birthday celebration. The celebration lasts for 10 days. The celebration lasts for 10 days. Yuan Jiahong's voice traveled far. The experts of 9 Stars City thanked him respectfully. The news of the battle between the Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong, and Sun Jingde quickly spread and shook the world. The entire 9 Stars realm was in an uproar. Even the surrounding realms were in an uproar. Almost every city was talking about the battle between the Lord of Nine Stars, Yuan Jiahong, and Sun Zhengde. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others headed to Nine Stars City. When they passed by a certain city, they heard a group of experts talking about the battle between the Lord of Nine Stars and Sun Zhengde. At that time, Lord of Nine Stars struck with the Nine Stars divine fist. All 9 stars appeared, and the sky changed color. Sun Zhengde's so-called invincible dark palm from the dark world was destroyed by the 9 stars divine fist. Sun Zhengde wore 2 acquired spiritual treasures, but he still couldn't block the 9 stars divine fist. Sun Zhengde's 2 divine armors were destroyed. There were 9 holes in his chest. He almost exploded. That can't be right. I heard that Sun Zhengde wore 3 acquired spiritual treasures, but he still couldn't block it. Sun Zhengde is ranked 10th on the god list. He couldn't even block a single punch from Lord of Nine Stars. He was defeated in one move. The ancient god realm is too strong. Lord of Nine Stars is simply invincible. As the crowd discussed, their faces flushed red, perhaps because they were too excited. Tomorrow is Master Jiu Xing's birthday banquet. That Lu guy said that he's going to twist Master Jiu Xing's head off at the banquet. After hearing about Master Jiu Xing's battle, I think he's hiding in fear. Everyone laughed. Now, in their eyes, Lu Yiping, who had said he was going to wring the Lord of Nine Stars' head, was a joke. Lu Yiping and the others heard similar discussions every time they passed by a city. The next day, the sun shone brightly. The sun was shining brightly. Nine Stars City was bustling with activity because it was the birthday banquet of the Lord of Nine Stars, Yuan Jiahong. Experts from various places were constantly pouring into the Nine Star City. Ever since the news of the battle between Yuan Jiahong and Sun Zhengde had spread out, even the experts from various places had rushed to the Nine Star City at a crazy speed, just to celebrate Yuan Jiahong's birthday. Lord of Nine Stars, Yuan Jiahong, sat on the throne in the Nine Stars Palace in Nine Stars City. He had a smile on his face as he raised his cup and drank with the experts from all over the plains. Am I going to orgasm again? My back has been aching lately. I wonder if it's because I've had too many orgasms. It's my son's birthday today. The 4th update will come later, around 10 o'clock. Chapter 223. After 3 rounds of drinking, Lin Yidong said, "It's almost noon now. It seems that Lu Gai is too scared to come." Long Tianhao, the ancestor of the Dragon King sect, said with a smile, "If I were him, I would apologize to Lord Nine Star and ask for forgiveness for his ignorance. I think he can't move even if he wants to apologize to Lord Nine Star." An expert from the Xiankong Island said with a smile, "Because his legs are too weak to move." Everyone in the hall laughed. The Lord of Nine Star Yuan Jiahong said with a smile, "Come, let's drink. Don't let such a small character affect our mood." Everyone raised their cups. Under the bright sunlight, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived outside the Nine Star City. Experts from all over the world were still pouring into the Nine Star City. The Nine Star City's gate was huge, but it seemed a little narrow when all the experts poured in. Nine Star City. The dragon horn golden bull raised its head and looked at the domineering and imposing words written on the city gate. It grinned. Suddenly, a small fish appeared in Taurus Longjiao's hand. Then, Taurus Longjiao smashed the small fish in his hand at the Nine Star City's gate. When it smashed down, the small fish suddenly expanded and turned into the size of a mountain. The experts who were rushing into Nine Stars City to celebrate the birthday of the Lord of Nine Stars suddenly felt that the sky, which had been bright just a moment ago, had darkened. Everyone felt strange and couldn't help but raise their heads to look. Then, everyone saw an incomparably huge fish. The fish smashed down. Boom! Heaven and earth shook. Under everyone's dumbfounded eyes, the majestic Nine Star City's gate was blasted open. The majestic Nine Star City's gate was also blasted into pieces. Countless stones and sand were sent flying. Everyone dodged in panic. When the dust settled, everyone looked over and saw that the originally majestic 9-star city's gate had already disappeared. The entire city wall seemed to be missing a large piece, as if a large piece of a pair of pants had been bitten by a mouse. The experts were dumbfounded. The 9-star city's guards were also stunned. The huge explosion spread into the 9-star palace's hall. Everyone in the hall felt the ground shake. Everyone was stunned. Yuan Jiahong frowned. "Sir, someone just blew up the 9-star city's gate. It's a blue-robed young man and a golden-haired brawny man. They seem to be Lu Yiping's group." A 9-star city's expert rushed in a panic. "What?" Everyone in the hall was surprised. Lin Yidong's face darkened. "This Lu fellow is courting death." Originally, if he had come to apologize, Lord 9-star was in a good mood today and could have spared his life. But now, he's dead for sure. Yuan Jiahong's eyes turned cold as he abruptly stood up. Seeing this, everyone stood up and followed Yuan Jiahong out of the hall. Just as the Lord of 9 Stars, the experts of Xiankong Island, and the scattered Star Sea walked out of the Grand Hall, Lu Yiping stood in the air. Suddenly, an enormous golden figure appeared behind him. This gigantic golden figure stood between the heavens and the earth. It was unknown how tall it was. Its astonishing heavenly might swept out like a super terrifying storm. In front of this terrifying heavenly might, everyone only felt that they were as weak as dust. Between the golden figure, an astonishing amount of chaotic aura spread out. Sensing this terrifying heavenly might, the Lord of 9 Stars and the others, who had just walked out of the hall, couldn't help but raise their heads in fear. They saw the light blue figure standing in the air in the distance. Then, they saw the towering golden figure behind Lu Yiping. Hand of the Celestial Emperor. Lu Yiping's cold voice resounded throughout 9-Star City. Then, the towering golden figure suddenly slammed its palm down on the 9-Star Palace. The moment the giant golden palm slammed down, everyone saw chaotic runes swirling within the golden palm. A terrifying power crashed down like a chaotic waterfall. In front of this terrifying power, everyone felt the aura of death. They all fled in fear. As soon as they fled, they heard a loud bang. The entire 9-Star City trembled. The 9-Star Palace, which had been dazzling with starlight, had disappeared. The ground of the 9-Star Palace was covered with a giant golden palm print. Within the deep pit, the destructive power was still sweeping out. Some of the experts of the 9-Star Palace who couldn't dodge in time were hit by the golden palm print and turned into a rain of blood. Thousand Dao in action judgment finger. Lu Yiping's cold voice rang out again. Then, the golden figure casually pointed a finger. A beam of golden light, perhaps hundreds of miles in diameter, tore through the sky. It instantly arrived in front of the Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong. Before anyone could react, the Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong, was sent flying by the beam of golden light that was hundreds of miles in diameter. The experts of the 9-Star Palace who hadn't escaped with Yuan Jiahong were sent flying as well. Even Yuan Jiahong's strongest subordinate, Lin Yidong, ranked 57th on the God ranking list. When they saw the Lord of 9 Stars and hundreds of experts of the 9-Star Palace being sent flying to various corners, they couldn't help but be stunned. The sound of explosions rang out endlessly. One building after another was pierced through. Everyone was shocked. They stared in disbelief at the Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong, who had been sent flying. He had sent Sun Zhengde flying with one punch. The Lord of 9 Stars, who was ranked 10th on the God ranking list, had already broken through to the ancient God realm. Was that all? A figure suddenly flew out from a cloud of dust. "It's the Lord of 9 Stars," an ancestor exclaimed in surprise. Everyone looked over and saw that the person who had flown out was none other than the Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong. Yuan Jiahong's entire body surged with starlight. The aura of an ancient god swept through the world. Killing intent surged in his eyes as he stared coldly at Lu Yiping. He suddenly punched out. Die! The God World's laws howled out. 9 stars fist. Yuan Jiahong roared. 9 stars pierced through the sky. However, just as he punched out, the golden figure behind Lu Yiping sent out another beam of golden light. The 9 stars fist was instantly shattered. The beam of golden light, like a hot knife through butter, sent Yuan Jiahong flying again. This time, Yuan Jiahong was sent crashing into the city wall. He passed through the wall and crashed outside 9-star city. The world fell silent once more. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Yesterday, above the purple star sea, the invincible power of the Lord of 9 stars' divine fist was still vivid in everyone's minds. But now, that invincible 9 stars divine fist was so weak in front of that golden beam of light. Yuan Jiahong, who had crashed outside 9-star city, flew out from the rubble again. Everyone looked over and saw that Yuan Jiahong's divine armor was shattered. His hair was disheveled, and his body was covered in dust and blood. Yuan Jiahong's body surged with starlight. A starry sky appeared above his head, and a starry giant appeared. This is the Big Dipper Divine Palace's secret art from the ancient times, the Star Emperor True Body Art. Dragon King Set's ancestor Long Tianhao exclaimed. Yuan Jiahong's furious voice resounded through the world. Billions of stars shake the universe. Star Emperor True Dragon Fist. He punched out. Following his punch, the Star Emperor True Body also punched out. In an instant, a vast amount of starlight energy turned into a starry dragon that shot towards Lu Yiping. Chapter 224. When the starry dragon charged at Lu Yiping, its starry power and dragon power engulfed the world. The dragon's roar shook the 9 heavens. The frightening power shocked everyone. Compared to the 9 stars fist that had sent Sun Zhengde flying yesterday, the Star Emperor True Dragon Fist was more than twice as strong. Clearly, this was the Lord of 9 stars Yuan Jiahong's true strength. In yesterday's battle, Yuan Jiahong had only revealed a tiny portion of his strength. This is the true strength of Lord 9 stars. Everyone was shocked. However, just as the Star Emperor True Dragon Fist was about to reach Lu Yiping raised a finger and pointed. A bolt of lightning pierced through the Star Emperor True Dragon Fist. The starry dragon collapsed inch by inch. In the next second, the lightning bolt struck Yuan Jiahong, piercing through his chest. Once again, Yuan Jiahong was sent flying out of the 9-star city. Sand and dust billowed. The explosions didn't stop for a long time. The experts who'd just been shocked by Yuan Jiahong's true strength were speechless. Especially Long Tianhao of the Dragon King sect, Chen Huai of the Hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom, and the others. They felt a chill run down their spines. The Lord of 9 stars, who'd broken through to the ancient god realm, was sent flying again. This time, the Lord of 9 stars, who'd been sent flying out of 9 stars city, took even longer to fly out of the sand. The Lord of 9 stars gasped for breath. She stared at Lu Yiping in shock, anger, fear, and hatred. Blood continued to seep out of her body. She no longer had the aura of someone in the top 10 of the god ranking. Lu Yiping, I refuse to believe that I can't hurt you. The Lord of 9 stars, Yuan Jiahong, roared, his face twisted viciously as streams of golden blood energy erupted from his body. Clearly, the Lord of 9 stars was using a forbidden technique to temporarily increase her power, even at the cost of her life force and blood energy. As the golden blood energy burned around her, Yuan Jiahong's aura continued to rise. It was actually twice as strong as before. When his aura reached its peak, Yuan Jiahong suddenly charged towards Lu Yiping, arriving in front of Lu Yiping in an instant. Immemorial Starlight Fist. Yuan Jiahong roared. He punched out. Starlight burst forth. The sky seemed to be falling. It's the archaic Heavenly Court Starlight Falling Fist. An ancestor cried out in alarm. Everyone was shocked. He didn't expect Yuan Jiahong to have obtained the ancient heavenly court starlight falling fist. Could this be the reason why Yuan Jiahong had broken through to the ancient god realm? When Yuan Jiahong's mighty punch arrived in front of Lu Yiping didn't even look at it. He just waved his hand as though he was swatting a fly. In an instant, Yuan Jiahong was struck by an unparalleled force. The starlight disappeared, and the falling sky stopped. Yuan Jiahong was sent flying again. This time, Yuan Jiahong was once again sent flying out of 9-Star City, and this time, he was even further away. The sound of him crashing into the ground was even louder, and dust billowed endlessly. Everyone was silent for a long time. This scene gave them the impression that the Lord of 9 Stars was like a toddler who had just learned how to crawl in front of Lu Yiping. No matter if she used a forbidden technique or an immemorial heavenly court's ultimate technique, she was still a toddler who could crawl. However, Lu Yiping didn't immediately kill her. Instead, he was torturing her. Lu Yiping was telling the experts that he didn't kill the Lord of 9 Stars because he didn't want to kill her immediately. Sure enough, after a long time, the Lord of 9 Stars crawled up from the ground again. She charged at Lu Yiping again. This time, Lu Yiping slapped her so hard that she disappeared without a trace. After a long time, a rumbling sound came from the horizon. The Lord of 9 Stars was never seen again. Lu Yiping waved his hand, and the Lord of 9 Stars was pulled back from the horizon. Looking at the dying Lord of 9 Stars, Lu Yiping said calmly, "I told you not to interfere with the affairs of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom. Otherwise, I would have wrung your head off at your birthday banquet." The Lord of 9 Stars, Yuan Jiahong, looked at Lu Yiping and suddenly laughed. "Lu Yiping, didn't you ask about my background before coming here? Do you know who I am?" Lu Yiping's expression was calm. "I really didn't ask." Then he said, "But before I kill someone, I don't ask about their background." With that, he exerted force with his hand and twisted Yuan Jiahong's head off. It was as if he was pulling up a vegetable head from the ground. The Lord of 9 Stars' head was pulled up. Blood didn't spurt out. Lu Yiping casually tossed the head, and it embedded itself into the walls of 9 Stars City. Only then did the fallen corpse begin to spurt out blood. The blood was very glaring under the sunlight. It dyed the buildings around 9 Stars City red. The experts of 9 Stars Palace were stunned. The experts of the Dragon King sect and the hell-suppressing divine kingdom were stunned. The experts of Xiankong Island and the scattered star seas, as well as the thousands of experts who had come to attend the birthday banquet, were stunned. In everyone's eyes, there was only the Lord of 9 Stars' head, the corpse that had fallen to the ground, and the Lord of 9 Stars' head embedded in the city walls. Many people fell to the ground, no longer caring about their image. Some people who were familiar with the Lord of 9 Stars' identity even muttered, "The sky is falling." The sky was falling. Many people were muttering to themselves as if they had gone mad. Hearing the mutterings, Lu Yiping's expression didn't change. At that moment, the great ancestor of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom, Chen Huai, suddenly laughed and looked at Lu Yiping mockingly. "Lu Yiping, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. You didn't even know the Lord of 9 Stars' identity and background, and you dared to kill him. Do you know what kind of existence you've offended? That kind of existence isn't something you can imagine." Long Tianhao of the Dragon King sect also sneered. "You'll soon pay the price. The price is that you and everyone around you will die without an intact corpse. Blood will flow like a river." However, as soon as they finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao grabbed them and brought them to him. Taurus Longjiao grabbed one in each hand and twisted. Chen Huai's and Long Tianhao's heads were also twisted off. Taurus Longjiao chuckled. "Offend? We don't know who'll be the one offending who." He tossed the two heads aside. "Everyone, kill Lu Yiping." A 9 Stars Palace expert suddenly roared angrily. "Otherwise, if that existence blames us, we'll all die even more miserably." Immediately, the 9 Stars Palace experts rushed toward Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and He Xia from all directions. The hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom and Dragon King sex experts also rushed over. Lu Yiping's expression was indifferent, but he did not make a move. Instead, he released the Limitless Star Palace's 100,000 World Surface Masters for them to practice. 100,000 World Surface Masters clad in silver dragon divine armors appeared in the air. The silver dragons on the divine armors flickered under the sunlight, and dragon might filled the air, suppressing the world. World Surface Masters, all of them are World Surface Masters and above. Everyone stared at the sky full of silver dragons in awe. 100,000 World Surface Masters rushed toward the 9 Stars Palace, Dragon King sect, and hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's experts. In an instant, heaven and earth collided, and battle cries shook the sky. Blood rained down like a rain. The ground was dyed red again and again. Chapter 225. The massacre continued. The sun was warm, but everyone felt a chill down their spines as they watched the 9 Stars Palace, hell-suppressing Divine Country, and Dragon King sex experts being slaughtered. The 9 Stars Palace, hell-suppressing Divine Country, and Dragon King sex experts were not lacking in number, but they were powerless against Lu Yiping's 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters. Even the 9 Stars Palace's experts' 9 Stars Grand Formation was useless. Even the hell-suppressing Divine Country and Dragon King sect's strongest killing formation was useless. The 9 Stars Palace, hell-suppressing Divine Country, and Dragon King sex experts were like eggs. Lu Yiping's 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters were not rocks, but iron. What kind of killing formation is this? Everyone was shocked and they saw Lu Yiping's 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters attacking. The sea of lightning surged, and the silhouettes of lightning gods emerged. They had seen killing formations before, but they had never seen one with such terrifying power. Generally speaking, the more people were controlling a killing formation, the harder it was to synchronize the movements. But Lu Yiping's 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters' movements were synchronized, without the slightest difference. Destructive divine lightning was born continuously. One by one, the 9 Stars Palace's masters and masters were killed. Moreover, everyone was shocked to discover that Lu Yiping's 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters did not suffer any casualties. Not a single person. The 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters became one entity. In everyone's eyes, these 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters were a sea of lightning. Finally, the killing stopped. Heaven and earth quieted down once again. There were no more 9 Stars Palace, Dragon King sect, and hell-suppressing Divine Country's experts in the sky. There were no more experts on the ground, only unrecognizable corpses. Lu Yiping remained calm from the beginning to the end, looking at the 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters. Although your strength has increased by a lot, your battle power is still too weak. The 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters lowered their heads. Various experts felt strange hearing Huang Xiaolong's words. Subsequently, Lu Yiping sent the 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters back to the Limitless Star Palace, ordering them to cultivate diligently. In the eyes of other experts, the 100,000 Silver Dragon Plains Masters' battle power was shocking, but in Lu Yiping's master's strength, they were far from reaching his requirements. But Lu Yiping's masters. Lu Yiping suddenly punched out. Wherever the fist wave passed, the buildings in 9 Star City were flattened. The fist wave finally stopped in front of 9 Star City's treasury. Lu Yiping and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull arrived in front of the 9 Star City's treasury. Through the broken door, everyone could see that the treasury was filled with all kinds of star spirit stones, star spirit veins, and spirit herbs. Due to the Lord of 9 Stars cultivation technique, most of the treasures inside the 9 Stars Dragon Palace were star treasures. Other than star treasures, there were many other rare heavenly and earthly treasures. The Lord of 9 Stars was the master of the 9 planes. The entire plane was under her control. One could only imagine the wealth inside the 9 Stars Dragon Palace. Although everyone could only see the outer layer of the treasury, it was enough to make them swallow their saliva. Lu Yiping glanced at the 9 Stars Dragon Palace. With a lift of his hand, the entire 9 Stars Dragon Palace was lifted up, and the surrounding rocks and sand tumbled down. After lifting the 9 Stars Dragon Palace, Lu Yiping casually threw it into a space inside the cauldron of heaven and earth. He placed it together with the palace of the Holy Zither and the master of myriad gods' treasures. Useless things. Lu Yiping shook his head. Compared to the palace of the Holy Zither and the master of myriad gods' treasures, the 9 Stars Dragon Palace was very shabby. When the surrounding experts heard Lu Yiping say that the treasures inside the 9 Stars Dragon Palace were useless things, they almost vomited blood. Then, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stepped into the air and left. He Xia and the others followed closely behind. Even after Lu Yiping and the others disappeared, the crowd was still in a daze. 9 Stars City is finished. An expert from a sect said in a low voice. One day ago, the Lord of 9 Stars had punched Sun Zhengde and ascended to the 10th place on the god list. Thousands of sects had come to congratulate them. Now, the Lord of 9 Stars' corpse lay in 9 Stars City. It had only been one day. On the Xiankong Island, the experts from the scattered star ocean looked at the Lord of 9 Stars' head that was still embedded in the city wall with complicated expressions. In the end, the Xiankong Island Lord said to one of his subordinates, "Go and take the Lord of 9 Stars' head off." The expert respectfully acknowledged and flew to the front of the Lord of 9 Stars' head. However, when he reached out to take the Lord of 9 Stars' head, he found that the head seemed to be fixed in place by some kind of power. He exerted all his strength, but the head didn't move at all. Everyone was shocked to see this. The expert from the Xiankong Island Lord was at the peak of the late-stage realm. How could he not take the head off? The Xiankong Island's Island Lord's face darkened, and he ordered the Dimension Masters under him to step forward. However, the Dimension Masters failed to take down the Chaos Star Array. In the end, even the Xiankong Island's Island Lord and the Scattered Star Ocean Sea Lord failed to take down the Chaos Star Array. After Lu Yiping left 9 Stars City, he activated the Creation Tree and continued to sense the Creation Tree pieces. Since there were so many Creation Tree pieces in the ancient forest, there might be other places in the 9 Stars realm. Now, the sensing range of the Creation Tree had expanded to 10 miles. Coupled with Lu Yiping's Eye of Thunder punishment, it was much easier to search for the Creation Tree pieces. However, there was a limit to one person's power. Therefore, Lu Yiping came to Star Thunder City in the 9 Stars realm. He planned to ask the True Gold Alliance in Star Thunder City to help him find the Creation Tree pieces. Star Thunder City was the second largest city in the 9 Stars realm. The True Gold Alliance was not only the largest information-gathering organization in the 9 Stars realm, but also the largest information-gathering organization in the 17 realms. The True Gold Alliance had branches in many realms, and its headquarters was in the Void realm. Young Master also wants to find out about the Creation Tree pieces. One of the deacons of the True Gold Alliance was surprised when he heard the characteristics of the Creation Tree pieces described by Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping was stunned. He asked, "You mean, other than me, there is someone else who wants the True Gold Alliance to find out about the Creation Tree pieces?" The deacon of the True Gold Alliance nodded. "Yes, and he just left the True Gold Alliance." Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao looked at each other. Both of them thought of the Yin-Yang Borer race. There were very few people who wanted to find out about the Creation Tree pieces. It was most likely the Yin-Yang Borer race or the Purple Demon race under the Yin-Yang Borer race. Lu Yiping asked, "Which direction did he go?" The deacon shook his head. "I don't know about that." Lu Yiping took out 100 million heaven-grade spirit stones and gave it to the deacon, asking him to inform him when he found out about the Creation Tree pieces. After leaving his contact information, Lu Yiping left the True Gold Alliance and used the Eye of Thunder punishment to search for the other party. Finally, he saw a suspicious figure in the south of the city. Chapter 226. The other party was clad in black, shrouded in devil chi. His speed was extremely fast, covering several li in the blink of an eye. Moreover, he was traveling through the wilderness. In a flicker, Lu Yiping appeared in front of the other party. "Who is it?" A blue-robed figure suddenly appeared in front of the other party. The other party was shocked and stopped abruptly. "Purple Extreme Demon Tribe." Lu Yiping looked at the other party and said indifferently. Although the other party was shrouded in devil chi, the unique power of the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's bloodline couldn't escape Lu Yiping's eyes. "Who are you?" The Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert retreated in shock. Light surged from his body as he secretly pinched an escape talisman in his hand. Lu Yiping didn't mind seeing the other party secretly pinching the escape talisman. A suction force from his hand pulled the other party to his front. The other party was shocked and quickly crushed the escape talisman in his hand. However, he discovered that the space around him had completely solidified. The escape talisman that could allow him to teleport was completely useless after being crushed. Lu Yiping sealed the other party's god force and searched his soul. A short while later, Huang Xiaolong finished searching his soul. With a clench of his fist, the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert exploded. Even until his death, this Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert couldn't understand why a blue-robed young man who appeared out of nowhere could crush him to death like an ant. Moreover, when he died, he didn't even know why the other party wanted to kill him. 7 Spirit Fox Tribe. Lu Yiping read aloud. From this Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert, Huang Xiaolong learned that one of the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's nests was in the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's territory. This was one of the 2 nests the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe had in the 17th world. The other nest was in the Void Plain. Even this Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert only knew that the other nest was in the Void Plain, but he didn't know its exact location. Lu Yiping's eyes turned cold. 7 Spirit Fox Tribe. He didn't expect the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe to be the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's nest. "Master." At this time, Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others arrived one after another. Taurus Longjiao looked at the blood mist in the air. "Let's go to the 7 Spirit Fox clan," Lu Yiping said. The Purple Extreme Devil Race's nest is in the 7 Spirit Fox clan. Taurus Longjiao was also very surprised. The Purple Extreme Devil clan's devil nest was actually in the 7 Spirit Fox clan. In the next moment, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others walked towards the 7 Spirit Fox tribe. The 7 Spirit Fox clan was an ancient clan. They were ranked 4th among the 10 superpowers in the 9-star realm. The mountain range that the 7 Spirit Fox clan occupied was called the 7 Spirit Mountain. It was named after the 7 spirit foxes. By the time Lu Yiping and the others arrived at the 7 Spirit Mountains, the sky was already bright. The morning sun shone on the peaks of the 7 Spirit Mountains, reflecting a rainbow light. This was due to the 7 spirits' divine power of the 7 Spirits Fox clan. The 7 Spirits Fox clan had the 7 spirits bloodline. After they became gods, their divine power would become a special kind of divine power. This kind of divine power contains 7 colors, so it was called the 7 spirits divine power. Because the 7 Spirit Fox clan cultivated in the 7 Spirit Mountains all year round, the 7 spirits' divine power permeated the mountain range. Therefore, the mountain range was also tainted with the 7 spirits' divine power. Under the sunlight, the 7 Spirit Mountains peaks emitted a rainbow light. However, when Lu Yiping's group arrived at the foot of the 7 Spirit Mountains, they saw people fighting. On one side of the fight was a pair of beautiful sisters. On the other side were disciples of the 7 Spirit Mountains. Initially, Lu Yiping didn't pay much attention to them. However, when the beautiful sisters suddenly stabbed out with their swords, sword lights resembling flowers, not only Lu Yiping, but even Taurus Longjiao was surprised. Profound flower sword art. The profound flower sword art was the Luo River's sword art. How could this pair of beautiful sisters know the Luo River's sword art? The profound flower sword art pierced through one of the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples, sending him flying. Audacious demon girls, time and time again, causing trouble in my 7 Spirit Fox clan. The other 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple was enraged. Today, I won't let you off. As he spoke, he circulated his divine power and sent a palm strike at the 2 women. The 2 women were peak late-stage True God Realm experts, and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple was also a peak late-stage True God Realm expert. However, when the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple circulated his 7 spirits' divine power, the 2 women were suppressed and quickly fell into a disadvantageous position. Your 7 Spirit Fox clan's Zhou Qiang is despicable and shameless. He snatched our green dragon ginseng. We just want to see your patriarch to seek justice, but you Zhou Qiang's slaves obstructed us time and time again. Lulan, who wore a green dress, raged. The 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples' face sank. Nonsense. The green dragon ginseng was found by my elder Zhou Qiang in the desolate forest. Hong Lan, who wore a red dress, sneered, this kind of nonsense is just Zhou Qiang and the 2 of you deceiving yourselves. The 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples' palm suddenly swelled to twice its original size, and he sent a palm strike at the 2 women. Other than the 7 Spirit Fox clan's divine power, there were also strands of black light in his palm strike. The 2 women were shocked. Just as the palm strike was about to hit them, a saber light pierced through the air and shattered the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples' palm strike. Everyone was stunned. When they looked over, they saw a blue-robed young man and a golden-haired burly man walking over. Behind them were 4 old men. The one who had attacked was Ba Dao. Just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked over, a figure flew out from the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples' side and arrived at the scene. Elder Zhou Qiang. When the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples saw the newcomer, they hurried over to greet him. The newcomer was none other than the 7 Spirit Fox clan's elder, Zhou Qiang. He was also the disciple of the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestor, Su Hanwen. When Zhou Qiang arrived, he looked at the 2 women and then at Lu Yiping. He snorted coldly, ungrateful bastard, coming to our 7 Spirit Fox clan to cause trouble again. Today, none of you can leave. However, just as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao pulled him to the front. Then, Taurus Longjiao's palm pierced into Zhou Qiang's chest and pulled out a purple demonic worm. Indifferent, Taurus Longjiao muttered, the purple demon heart-devouring worm of the extreme purple demon tribe. Zhou Qiang panicked, I don't know what you're talking about. Taurus Longjiao was too lazy to talk nonsense, and he smashed Zhou Qiang's body into pieces. Everyone looked at Zhou Qiang's body in shock. Even the sisters Hua Qinglan and Hong Lan were dumbfounded. You! The peak late-stage True God Realm 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple glared at Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao's palm slapped the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple, sending him crashing into a mountain peak. Those who cultivate the extreme purple demon tribe's cultivation technique must die. When the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciple fell to the ground, he was already dead. Who taught you the profound flower sword art? Lu Yiping asked the 2 women. The 2 women were frightened by Taurus Longjiao's ruthlessness, and they didn't dare to lie to Lu Yiping. Our father taught us. Your father? Lu Yiping was surprised. Lulan nodded, my father is seriously injured. Originally, we were looking for the Azure Dragon Ginseng to heal him, but we didn't expect Zhou Qiang to snatch it away. Lu Yiping ordered, wait for me here. With that said, he flew towards the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others followed closely behind. Chapter 227. Hua Lulan and Hong Lan looked in the direction Lu Yiping and the others had left in surprise. Big sister, that seems to be the direction of the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Are they going to enter the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land? Lulan asked. After killing the 7 Spirit Fox clan's elder, they still dared to enter the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Were these people crazy? Honglan also had a look of surprise on her face. Big sister, are we really going to wait for him? Lulan asked. Honglan stepped forward and picked up Zhou Chang's spatial artifact from the ground. She then found the green dragon ginseng and said, let's hide somewhere nearby. If he doesn't come out in half a day, we'll leave. At this time, the news of Zhou Chang's death had alarmed the 7 Spirit Fox clan's upper echelons. If it had been an ordinary elder, it would have been fine. However, Zhou Qiang was the personal disciple of the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestor, Su Hanwen. Su Hanwen was a planar master. Where are they now? The 7 Spirit Fox clan's patriarch, Hu Zhua, asked coldly. After killing Elder Zhou Qiang, they didn't escape. Instead, they entered the 7 Spirit Mountain. The elder said. They entered the 7 Spirit Mountain? Hu Zhua and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts were shocked. Yes, and judging from their direction, they seemed to be heading to the ancestral land. The elder added. Heading to the ancestral land? Hu Zhua and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts were even more surprised. Follow me and capture them. We can't let them disturb the ancestors in the ancestral land, especially great ancestor Hu Yuanxiu. Hu Zhua said solemnly. Immediately, he and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts shot into the sky to capture Lu Yiping. Just as Hu Zhua and the others rushed over, an elder reported in a panic, Patriarch, we just received news that another elder and 2 grand elders were killed by the enemy. What? Hu Zhua and the others were furious. Everyone, listen to my order. When we meet them, use all your strength to suppress them. Hu Zhua said angrily. Hu Zhua and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts increased their speed. At this time, Lu Yiping and the others had arrived at the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Master, let me do it, Taurus Longjiao said. Lu Yiping nodded. A small fish appeared in Taurus Longjiao's hand. Little Xiaoyu instantly enlarged, reverting back to its original form. The Kuanpeng was half the size of the Kuanpeng divine sect, and it covered the mountains of the 7 Spirit Fox race. The disciples of the 7 Spirit Fox clan who were cultivating on the various mountain peaks felt strange and raised their heads to look at the sky. Hu Zhua and the others who were rushing over to the ancestral land suddenly felt the sky darken and raised their heads to look. In the ancestral land of the 7 Spirit Foxes, Patriarch Su Hanwen heard the report that his disciple, Zhou Qiang, had been killed. He flew into a rage, and was just about to issue orders when the sky darkened. Hu Zhua, Su Hanwen, and the other disciples of the 7 Spirit Fox tribe all saw the same fish. They had never imagined that there would be such a big fish in the world. Now, this fish with no end in sight was crashing down on the 7 Spirits Fox ancestral land. Hu Zhua's expression changed. Su Hanwen's expression changed. In the ancestral land, the faces of all the ancestors who saw the fish changed. Even the strongest ancestor of the 7 Spirit Fox tribe, Hu Yuanxiu, roared, "Run!" As Hu Yuanxiu's roar reverberated throughout the 7 Spirit Fox tribe's ancestral land, the huge fish finally came crashing down. Rumble. It was as if the world was about to be destroyed. The earth-shattering explosion caused all the disciples and experts of the 7 Spirit Fox tribe to lose their sense of hearing. Their minds buzzed as if they had suffered a concussion. The destructive force and terrifying sound waves blasted the surrounding mountains. Loud explosions sounded continuously. Some of the surrounding mountains crumbled, some cracked, and some cracked like a spider. Within the ancestral land, the numerous palaces were like crispy popcorn that were exploding unceasingly amidst the crisp sounds, transforming into balls of powder. At the same time, several purple figures flew out from the depths of the ancestral land. Just as these purple figures flew out from the depths of the ancestral land, the huge fish suddenly straightened its back and swept out like a corpse. When the purple figures saw the Kuanpeng sweeping over, they roared in anger and struck out with their palms. Purple Demon Corpse Transformation Palm. The purple demonic chi was like a huge purple demonic river, and the terrifying corpse chi was thousands of layers. But the Kuanpeng swept the purple demon corpse transformation palm away in an instant, and then swept the purple figures with unstoppable momentum. In an instant, the purple figures were swept away and smashed into the depths of the ancestral land. The seven spirit fox tribe's great ancestor Hu Yuanxiu was furious. "Who are you?" Lu Yiping swept a glance at Hu Yuanxiu, and a suction force pulled Hu Yuanxiu in front of him. It was because Hu Yuanxiu had sided with the purple demon tribe that the seven spirit fox tribe's ancestral land became a nest of the purple demon tribe. Lu Yiping looked at Hu Yuanxiu coldly, and the latter felt a chill in his heart. Lu Yiping threw Hu Yuanxiu into the Kuanpeng's giant mouth. The Kuanpeng's giant mouth bit down, and Hu Yuanxiu screamed in pain. The seven spirit fox tribe's patriarch, Hu Zhua, who had rushed over, saw the scene of Lu Yiping throwing Hu Yuanxiu into the Kuanpeng's giant mouth, and his legs turned to jelly. "Lord Lu Yiping." Hu Zhua and the other ancestors who had met Lu Yiping in the cave of fallen gods knelt on the ground, their faces ashen. Lu Yiping glanced sideways at the kneeling Hu Zhua. Hu Zhua and the others were trembling. However, not all of the seven spirit fox tribe's experts had sided with the purple demon tribe, which was why Lu Yiping spared Hu Zhua's life. Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived at the depths of the seven spirit fox tribe's ancestral land. The six purple demon tribe's experts who were smashed into the depths of the seven spirit fox tribe's ancestral land consisted of men and women, young and old, and all of them were on the verge of death. One of them looked at Lu Yiping and laughed, "You're the Saint Devil Master Lu Yiping. The newly ascended 10th on the God ranking list. Lu Yiping, you won't have a good ending for going against our purple demon tribe." Lu Yiping looked down at these purple demon tribe's experts. "You only know me as the Saint Devil Master Lu Yiping, but you don't know that the Saint Devil Master is just one of my in-name disciples." The purple demon tribe's experts were stunned. The Saint Devil Master was just one of Lu Yiping's disciples. And he was just an in-name disciple. "I have several dozen in-name disciples," Lu Yiping said indifferently. "Other than 2 people, the rest are all stronger than the Saint Devil Master. I also have 4 personal disciples. Several dozen in-name disciples, only 2 people weaker than the Saint Devil Master." The purple demon tribe's experts were dumbfounded. A streak of lightning appeared on Lu Yiping's fingertip. This streak of lightning was actually gray in color. These purple demon tribe's experts had never heard of gray lightning before. The gray lightning in Lu Yiping's hand landed on their bodies, turning them into ashes in an instant. "Kill all those who have sided with the purple demon tribe and those who have cultivated the purple demon tribe's cultivation methods," Lu Yiping said to Taurus Longjiao. At the same time, he punched out, blasting open a palace in the deepest part of the ancestral land. Inside the palace, there was a large pile of tree chunks. All of them were building tree chunks. Chapter 228. Some of them were 1 meter tall, some were half a meter tall, and some were only the size of a fist. There were more than 70 pieces in total. Lu Yiping's heart leaped with joy. With these pieces of foundation tree, his foundation tree should be able to grow to 200 meters tall, right? Lu Yiping kept all of these pieces of foundation tree into the heaven and earth cauldron, then searched the area to make sure there were no more pieces of foundation tree before giving up. Coming out from the ancestral land, Taurus Longjiao killed the 7 spirit fox tribe's ancestors and disciples that had surrendered to the purple extreme demon tribe. The 7 spirit fox tribe's patriarch, Hu Zhua, and the others were kneeling on the ground, not daring to move. Taurus Longjiao swung the club in his hand for a while before finally stopping. Although Taurus Longjiao had stopped, Hu Zhua and the others were still trembling with fear. After Taurus Longjiao and the others dealt with the purple extreme demon tribe's remnants, Lu Yiping had Hu Zhuo and the others stand up. He did not make things difficult for them and left the 7 spirit mountains with Taurus Longjiao and the others. Hu Zhuo and the others watched as Lu Yiping left, the ground littered with corpses, and the ancestral land that had been destroyed beyond recognition. They wanted to cry, but no tears came out. Hiding at the foot of a mountain outside the 7 spirit mountains, the sisters Hualulan and Honglan were trembling with fear when they heard the earth-shaking explosions. "Big sis, let's leave." Lulan said, "They haven't come out for so long, they've probably been killed by the 7 spirit fox tribe's experts." Honglan hesitated for a moment, then nodded. However, just as the two of them were about to leave, they were stunned. Several figures flew out from the 7 spirit mountains direction. It was the blue-robed young man from before. "Are you all right?" Lulan looked at Lu Yiping in shock. Lu Yiping smiled, "I'm old friends with the 7 spirit fox tribe's patriarch, Hu Zhuo." Indeed, they were old friends. He had met Hu Zhuo in the Cave of Fallen Gods. Old friends? Honglan looked suspiciously at Lu Yiping. "Have you found the green dragon ginseng?" Lu Yiping changed the topic and asked with a smile. Hearing Lu Yiping mention this, Lu Lan was a little embarrassed. She nodded and said, "I found it. Thank you for your help." Lu Yiping smiled and said, "It was nothing much. Furthermore, the one who attacked was my subordinate." He pointed at Ba Dao. Lu Lan and Honglan thanked Ba Dao, which made Ba Dao feel a little embarrassed. He knew that with his strength, in front of Lu Yiping, he was just displaying his slight skill in front of an expert. "Since you found the green dragon ginseng, let's go." Lu Yiping said, "I have something to ask your father." Lu Lan asked with a curious look, "Sir wants to ask about the profound flower sword art?" Lu Yiping nodded. "I've heard of this mystic flower sword technique from my father. He obtained it in the Void Plane many years ago," Lu Lan said. "The Void Plane?" Lu Yiping was surprised. They chatted as they walked and left the 7 spirit mountains. Half a day later, Lu Yiping's group arrived at a valley. The valley wasn't big, but there were flowers and trees. However, these flowers and trees were of ordinary species, and their age was not high. It seemed like they were newly planted. The valley's layout was not bad, and one could see the women's thoughts. The 2 sisters and their father lived in 2 caves in the valley. The caves were like a small mansion. When they arrived, the 2 sisters' father was sitting cross-legged on a cold jade bed, circulating his qi to treat his injuries. The 2 sisters' father, Yu Zhifang, was startled when he saw Lu Yiping's group. However, when he heard that Lu Yiping's group had helped them retrieve the green dragon ginseng, his vigilance eased a lot. Even so, Yu Zhifang still looked at Lu Yiping suspiciously. Lu Yiping didn't mind. The 2 sisters took out the green dragon ginseng and helped Yu Zhifang refine the medicinal energy inside. However, Yu Zhifang's injuries were very serious. Although the green dragon ginseng was not bad, it could only temporarily suppress his injuries. Seeing this, Lu Yiping took out the several dozen meters tall tree ginseng he had obtained from the myriad gods' master's cultivation dwelling. The tree ginseng rose into the air, and golden medicinal energy poured down like a waterfall into Yu Zhifang's body. Yu Zhifang was almost suffocated by this terrifying medicinal energy, but he was pleasantly surprised to find that his injuries were recovering at an astonishing speed. In a dozen breaths' time, his injuries were completely healed. The 2 sisters looked at Yu Zhifang's ruddy complexion, his breathing stable, and even stronger than before he was injured. They couldn't help but stare at the several dozen meters tall tree ginseng in shock. They had never heard of a ginseng that was several dozen meters tall. Moreover, this ginseng was golden in color. There was such a species of ginseng in this world? Yu Zhifang had also never seen such a ginseng before, and was also shocked. Lu Yiping took back the tree ginseng. Yu Zhifang felt a sense of loss. He had a feeling that if he could borrow this ginseng's medicinal energy to cultivate for a few more days, he might even be able to break through again. Seeing that Yu Zhifang's injuries had recovered, Lu Yiping asked about the profound flower sword style. Yu Zhifang hesitated for a moment, and finally said, I found this profound flower sword style on an island in the Scattered Star Sea. Oh, the Scattered Star Sea. Lu Yiping pondered for a moment, then asked, do you remember which island it was? Yu Zhifang shook his head, I found it more than 10,000 years ago. At that time, I was being chased by sea beasts, and in a panic, I fled to that island. I don't remember which island it was. Taurus Longjiao saw that Yu Zhifang was deliberately hiding something, and sneered, you don't remember? Then you should at least remember the approximate location, right? He Xia and the other three frowned. Previously, they had saved the two women and helped them retrieve the azure dragon ginseng. Now, Lu Yiping was using the tree ginseng to heal Yu Zhifang's injuries. Not only did Yu Zhifang not say a word of thanks, he even deliberately hid the location of the island. Lu Yiping said, if you bring me to that island, these 2 drops of star chaos water will be yours. 2 drops of star chaos water appeared in his hand. The 2 drops of star chaos water in Lu Yiping's palm flickered with starlight, and chaos energy filled the air. Star chaos water. Yu Zhifang and the 2 women were shocked. Yu Zhifang swallowed hard, and looked at Lu Yiping, somewhat embarrassed, and said, young master helped me recover, so it's only right for me to bring young master to that island. How can I accept young master's treasures? Lu Yiping waved his hand, and then gave the 2 drops of star chaos water to Yu Zhifang. In that case, shall we set off now? Lu Yiping asked. All right, young master, please wait a moment, I'll pack up. Yu Zhifang said. Moments later, Lu Yiping's group left the 9 Stars realm, and headed to the Void realm. Due to the long journey and the dangers of the galaxy, the 2 women did not follow. After leaving the 9 Stars realm, Lu Yiping took out the Black Dragon flying ship. Yu Zhifang looked at the 1,000 zhang long, pitch-black Black Dragon flying ship in front of him, and was stunned. He didn't even know how he got on the flying ship. After everyone boarded, their innate spiritual veins activated the flying ship's array, and in an instant, the flying ship turned into a streak of black light, tearing through the galaxy as it sped towards the Void realm. Chapter 229. Along the way, the Black Dragon flying ship passed through galactic storms and hailstones. Yu Zhifang watched as the Black Dragon flying ship blasted away the galactic storms that could tear a peak late-stage realm lord to shreds. His mouth went dry. After the Black Dragon flying ship destroyed the galactic storms, Yu Zhifang took out the 2 drops of star chaos water and returned them to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping looked at the trembling Yu Zhifang and said, since it's for you, you should accept it. Only then did Yu Zhifang feel relieved. The Void Plane was the first plane among the 17 planes. It was also the largest and most prosperous plane among the 17 planes. When they arrived at the Void Plane, Lu Yiping put away the Black Dragon spaceship. He and the others broke through the plane's boundary and entered the Void Plane space. They didn't linger and flew straight to the Scattered Star Sea. The Scattered Star Sea was the largest sea in the Void Plane. It was located in the south of the Void Plane. With Lu Yiping's speed, it would take them 3 to 4 days to reach the Scattered Star Sea. When Lu Yiping's group arrived at the Scattered Star Sea, the sun was shining brightly. The Scattered Star Sea was lively and festive. After asking around, Lu Yiping's group found out that the Scattered Star Sea's sea tribes were holding a 4 Seas sacred assembly. The Scattered Star Sea was the 3rd largest force in the Void Plane. It was formed by many sea tribes. Every 100 years, they would hold a 4 Seas sacred assembly. This 4 Seas sacred assembly was the grandest event in the Scattered Star Sea. Of course, it was also one of the biggest events in the Void Plane. Therefore, the Scattered Star Sea's 4 Seas sacred assembly was attended by many super forces in the Void Plane. Other than the Maha clan and their subordinates, almost all the other super forces in the Void Plane would attend the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. With Yu Zhifang leading the way, the group flew towards the island Yu Zhifang mentioned. Although the Scattered Star Sea was the territory of the Four Seas Sea tribes, it didn't forbid other people from entering. Therefore, Lu Yiping's group wasn't obstructed. After flying for a while, Yu Zhifang pointed at a huge island in front of them and said, "Sir, it's that island." Lu Yiping looked over and saw that the island was very big. It was like a small continent floating on the sea. There was no spiritual energy on the island and it was overgrown with weeds. It was obviously a deserted island. Soon, Lu Yiping's group arrived at the deserted island and landed. After 10,000 years, there had been some changes to the island. For example, the mountainous areas were now filled with all sorts of plants, and some mountains had been flattened. Relying on his memory, Yu Zhifang led Lu Yiping and the others to the south of the island. However, just as Lu Yiping's group was heading south of the island, they suddenly heard voices in front of them. "Incinerate all the corpses of the beasts and clean them up for me," one of them said. "Yes, young master." Lu Yiping and the others exchanged glances. It seemed that someone had killed someone on this deserted island and wanted to destroy the evidence. Although it was strange, Lu Yiping's group did not stop moving. In the next moment, they saw a group of sea tribe experts burning a pile of corpses with divine fire. These corpses were large and tall, belonging to the beasts. "It's the sea god tribe's experts." Yu Zhifang was alarmed. The group of sea tribe experts in front were clad in indigo battle armor with strange patterns engraved on them. It was the sea god tribe's emblem. The sea god tribe was the royal family of the Four Seas Sea tribes. The sea god tribe's patriarch was the sea god tribe's sea lord, and the several dozen sea tribes were ruled by the sea god tribe. Yu Zhifang's heart skipped a beat when he saw the group of sea god tribe experts. Sure enough, more than 30 sea god tribe experts looked over at them at this time. The sea god tribe experts were surprised to see people coming over. Very few people came to this deserted island. "Young master, what should we do?" one of the sea tribe experts asked the sea god tribe's young man. The sea god tribe's young man's eyes were filled with killing intent as he said, "They can only blame their bad luck, kill them all." Naturally, the fact that they killed the beasts must not be exposed. These beasts weren't ordinary beasts, they were the Tiger King tribe. In an instant, more than a dozen sea tribe experts stepped out from the sea tribe's group, flying towards Lu Yiping's group. More than a dozen of them suddenly slashed their swords at Lu Yiping's group. Sword chi filled the air, soaring to the sky. These people were all peak late-stage heavenly god realm experts, the kind that could step into the world lord realm at any time. Yu Zhifang was alarmed. However, just as these dozen people's sword chi was about to reach Lu Yiping, Qiyu waved his hand. In an instant, a fiery light slashed out. Waves of fire soared to the sky, and these waves of fire had a strange silver hue to them. In an instant, all the sword chi was split apart, and the sea tribe experts were hit by the fiery light. The divine armor on their bodies cracked, and they were sent flying, vomiting mouthfuls of blood. The sea tribe's experts were shocked and surprised. Silver light slash. The sea imperial tribe's young man's gaze fell on Qiyu, his eyes burning with desire. "You're from the Zephyr sect." The silver light slash was the Zephyr sect's ultimate technique. The Zephyr sect's strength was not weak. Although it was not ranked in the Void World's top 10 super forces, it was still one of the top 20 super forces. In the past, Qiyu was indeed one of the Zephyr sect's ancestors. Qiyu did not speak. The Sea Imperial tribe's young man glanced at Lu Yiping's group, his brows furrowed, then he smiled, "I didn't expect you to be from the Zephyr sect, may I know what you're here for?" Then, he added, "I hope you can forget what you saw just now, or else what?" Lu Yiping asked indifferently. "Or else, it's a small matter if something happens to you, but it won't be good if the Zephyr sect is implicated, right?" The Sea Imperial tribe's young man smiled innocently. However, just as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao slapped him across the face, and the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man was slammed into the island's ground. The ground rumbled loudly. Sand and gravel splashed everywhere. The Sea Tribe's experts were stupefied, looking dumbfounded at the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man who was stuck into the island's ground with only his buttocks exposed. Young Lord. The Sea Tribe's experts scrambled to rescue the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man from the giant pit. When the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man was rescued, his entire face was crooked, and the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts almost couldn't recognize him. It took a long time for the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man to recover, and he glared at Taurus Longjiao in shock and anger. Let's go. However, he didn't say anything and simply said to the Sea Tribe's experts. Then, the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man flew away with the help of the Sea Tribe's experts. Watching the Sea Tribe's experts leaving, Yu Zhifang said worriedly, "They're from the Sea Imperial Tribe, and that young man's identity isn't simple. We'd better leave quickly, otherwise, when they come with the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts, we won't be able to leave even if we want to." Leave? Why do we have to leave? Taurus Longjiao laughed. It'd be better if they come with the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts. Chapter 230. As the dragon-horn golden bull spoke, a small fish appeared in his hand. He slapped his palm with the small fish and said with a smile, "They better have more people. That way, I can practice my hand strength more." Yu Zhifang looked suspiciously at the small fish in Taurus Longjiao's hand. He didn't know if it was his imagination, but the small fish in Taurus Longjiao's hand looked terrified. "Where is it?" Lu Yiping turned around and asked Yu Zhifang. Yu Zhifang regained his senses and pointed ahead. "It should be right there." Then, he added, 10,000 years have passed, this island's terrain has changed a lot, so it's hard to recognize. Thus, he continued to lead Lu Yiping's group forward. While Lu Yiping's group was heading towards the place where Yu Zhifang had obtained the profound flower sword art, the Sea God Tribe's young man left the island under the protection of the Sea Tribe's experts. After leaving the island and flying for a while, the Sea God Tribe's young man recalled the scene just now. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. "Zephyr Wind Sect, damn you, you're courting death, you're courting death." He roared in anger. His father was the Sea God Tribe's Sea God Temple's Hall Master. Even the Sea God Tribe's Patriarch, the Scattered Star Sea's Sea Lord, had to show respect to his father. He had never been slapped in such a manner before. "Young Lord, should we go back now?" one of the Sea Tribe's experts asked. Indifferent light flickered in the Sea God Tribe's young man's eyes. "No need. No need." Everyone was stunned. Huada sneered, "At that time, we'll inform the Beastmen experts that the Tiger King Tribe's people were killed by these people." The Sea Tribe's experts looked at each other and laughed. "Young Lord is wise, the Beastmen experts can kill two birds with one stone," one of the Sea Tribe's experts said with a smile. Huada laughed. "The Beastmen's Patriarch is also here for this Four Seas Sacred Assembly, right?" "He's already here, he's in the Sea God City," one of them answered. "All right, let's return to the Ocean Emperor City first and inform the Beast Clan's Patriarch." Huada smiled and said, "When the Beast Clan's Patriarch comes with experts and sees the corpses of the beasts, they will be caught red-handed. They won't be able to deny it even if they want to." Immediately, they sped up and headed back to the Sea Monarch City. Along the way, Huada touched his swollen face. "Indifferent," he said, "even though the beasts killed those people, I still can't get rid of the hatred in my heart." "Young master, what do you mean?" one of them asked carefully. Huada asked, "Check if the experts of the Strong Winds sect have come to participate in the Four Seas Sacred Assembly." Everyone immediately understood what Huada meant and started investigating. Very quickly, everyone found out that the Zephyr Winds sect was on the list of the super sects that had come to participate in the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. Hearing his subordinates report, Huada sneered. The Zephyr Wind sect leader personally led more than 20 experts of the Zephyr Wind sect here, right? Since that was the case, there was no need for the Zephyr sect to return. His entire body was filled with killing intent. At this moment, Lu Yiping and the others finally arrived at the cave where Yu Zhifang had found the profound flower sword technique. The cave was underground on the deserted island. Lu Yiping stared at the words and images on the walls of the cave. These were the diagrams and annotations of the profound flower sword technique. Someone had used a sword to carve them on the walls. Perhaps because of the passage of time, the diagrams and annotations were already blurred. It's Lady Luo Shui's handwriting, Taurus Longjiao said. Although the diagrams and annotations were blurred, Taurus Longjiao was still able to recognize it. Lu Yiping nodded his head and did not speak. Yu Zhifang stood at the side and did not speak. Actually, he only knew that this sword technique was called the Profound Flower Sword Technique. As for who left it behind and which sect it belonged to, he did not know. Lu Yiping continued to look at the diagrams and annotations on the walls. After he was done, he started to walk around the cave. The cave was not big, only a few hundred square meters. Other than the diagrams and annotations on the walls, there was only a stone table and a few stone chairs. This seemed to be a cave that Luo Shui had stayed in for a short period of time. At this moment, Lu Yiping arrived at the center of the cave. Suddenly, he raised his hand and pressed it against the ground. The ground of the cave was blasted open. A black hole appeared in the ground. Yu Zhifang was astonished. Could it be that there was another secret to this cave? But when he had searched it in the past, he did not find anything strange. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked into the black hole. Taurus Longjiao ordered He Xia and the others to guard the entrance and not let anyone else in. Of course, this included Yu Zhifang. Yu Zhifang, who had wanted to follow them in, could only stay outside with He Xia and the others. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entered the black hole, an hour passed and they still did not come out. At this time, in the Sea God City, the Beast Tribe Patriarch Ma Ku stood up angrily and asked Huada, "Is that true?" Huada laughed. "Why would I joke with Patriarch Ma Ku about such matters? If you don't believe me, you can go to the deserted island and check it out. However, an hour has already passed, I wonder if they are still there." Ma Ku immediately stood up and summoned a group of experts from the Beast Tribe. They tore through the air and headed towards the deserted island Huada mentioned. As for Huada, after some thought, he said to his subordinates, "Go and invite the Zephyr Wind sect patriarch. Tell him that I have something to ask the Zephyr Zhongzhong people. Tell them to come to my residence." One of Huada's subordinates said, "Young master, now is the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. If we make a move in the Sea God City, I'm afraid it won't be good for us. Why don't we wait until the Four Seas Sacred Assembly ends and they leave the scattered star seas?" Huada hesitated for a moment before nodding, "All right." On the deserted island, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were inside the black hole, flipping through many ancient books. These books were left behind by Luo Shui in the past. By the time they finished reading these books, 2 hours had passed. Lu Yiping put away these books and exited the cave with Taurus Longjiao. Black Demon and the others walked up to them. "Let's go out first," Lu Yiping said. The few of them left the cave and returned to the surface. However, just as they exited the cave, they saw a large group of experts flying towards them. "It's the Beast Tribe." Chi Yu narrowed her eyes. In the blink of an eye, the Beast Tribe experts arrived at the place where the Sea Tribe experts were handling the corpses. Because the Sea God Tribe experts were interrupted by Lu Yiping's group when they were handling the Beastmen's corpses, the Tiger King Tribe experts' corpses were still there. The Beast Tribe Patriarch Ma Ku's eyes turned red when he saw the Tiger King Tribe experts' corpses. He raised his head and looked at Lu Yiping's group, enunciating each word clearly, "You killed them? Other than them, there is no one else on this deserted island. They must be the ones who killed the Tiger King Tribe experts." One of the Beast Tribe experts roared. Taurus Longjiao laughed. Looks like those sea god tribe bastards lured these beastmen here. Not bad, borrowing the beastman's knife to kill. At this time, the beast tribe patriarch Ma Ku led a group of beastmen experts towards Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, blocking Lu Yiping's group's escape route. Chapter 231. One of the beast race experts suddenly punched towards Lu Yiping and the others. However, just as he made his move, he was sent flying by Chi Yu's silver light slash. When the beast tribe patriarch Ma Ku saw Chi Yu's attack, his gaze turned even colder. Silver light slash. You really are from the Zephyr sect? Chi Yu said coldly. We didn't kill them. Before our master gets angry, it's not too late for you to scram. Hearing this, the beast tribe patriarch Mark roared with laughter. Before your master gets angry? His gaze fell on Lu Yiping. This guy is your master. His palm struck out at Lu Yiping. I'll smash him into meat paste first. The planar laws entwined around his palm, and the light of his palm grew brighter. Although the beast race wasn't as powerful as the scattered star sea, they were still one of the top 10 superpowers in the void plane, ranked 7th. Mark wasn't weak at all. He had over 24 million planar laws. After all, the Magic Dragon Palace's Dragon Gang plane only had 250,000 laws. One was more than 20 million, while the other was 250,000. That was nearly 100 times. Of course, his combat strength was far more than 100 times. Not to mention He Xie, Chi Yu, and the other three were unable to block Ma Ku's palm strike. Even the combined might of several hundred Long Gang could not block Ma Ku's palm strike. However, just as his palm was about to hit Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao's Xiao Xiao Yu smashed it with his club. Ma Ku only saw a fish-shaped afterimage flash in front of his eyes before he was struck by an unimaginable force that sent him flying. Ma Ku was blasted through several mountain peaks. Hundreds of mountain peaks were blasted into smithereens. After being blasted through, he smashed into the sea outside the desolate island. Thousands of huge waves were formed on the sea surface. The hundreds of beast race experts were all stunned. Even Yu Zhifang was stunned. Although the beast race's patriarch Mark wasn't on the god ranking list, his fame still shook the 17 planes. Even he knew who the beast race's patriarch Mark was. You're not from the Zephyr sect. One of the beast men looked at Taurus Longjiao in shock and anger. It was impossible for the Zephyr sect to have such an expert. Taurus Longjiao laughed. Of course we're not from the Zephyr sect. At this point, the Kunpeng in Taurus Longjiao's hand suddenly expanded 10 million times, becoming the size of a deserted island. Yu Zhifang was dumbfounded when he saw the little fish in Taurus Longjiao's hand grow to the size of a deserted island. Previously, when Taurus Longjiao held the little fish and slapped it like a toy, he didn't pay much attention to it. Now, he realized that poverty had limited his imagination. How was this a small fish? This was simply a ferocious beast. Compared to Yu Zhifang's dumbfounded expression, the beast race experts were even more terrified. This is the divine beast Kunpeng. The beast expert from earlier shouted in horror. You are a 9th Revolution War god. At this moment, the Kunpeng in Taurus Longjiao's hand fell. Hundreds of beast men were sent flying by the attack. Like frightened birds, they flew away in all directions. However, the way he flew was a little special. The hundreds of beasts were sent flying. Just like the beast race patriarch Mark, they all crashed into the sea outside the deserted island. It was as if hundreds of super bombs had been dropped on the surface of the sea. Tens of thousands of huge waves were blown up. From afar, hundreds of deep craters appeared on the surface of the sea. After a long time, the huge waves fell from the sky. The hundreds of deep craters slowly recovered and were once again covered by the surrounding seawater. Yu Zhifang was stunned speechless. He looked at Taurus Longjiao's arm and realized that Taurus Longjiao's arm was even thicker than his thigh. This golden-haired man, Lord Shaojin, was a 9th Revolution War god. Then wasn't this blue-robed young man? He looked at Lu Yiping and his face turned even paler. After Lu Yiping killed Fu Sangsheng and twisted off Lord of Nine Stars Yuan Jiahong's head, it was no secret that Lu Yiping always had a golden-haired Ninth Revolution war god by his side. This Ninth Revolution war god's weapon was a divine beast Kuan Peng. Moreover, he had always liked the wooden club posture. "Master, shall we take a stroll in the sea god city?" Taurus Longjiao put away the wooden club and asked. Let's take a stroll," Lu Yiping said. The group soared into the sky and flew in the direction of the sea god city. Of course, it was just a stroll and a walk. When they arrived, it was more than just a stroll and a walk. Lu Yiping looked at the bewildered Yu Zhifang and said, "You can leave now. You don't need to follow us to the sea god city." Hearing this, Yu Zhifang was relieved. He thanked Lu Yiping and left. Although Lu Yiping was ranked 10th on the god list, it was not worth it to follow Lu Yiping and offend the entire Scattered Star Ocean. The Scattered Star Ocean was not only the third strongest force in the Void Plane, but also the fourth strongest force in the 17 planes. The Scattered Star Ocean's great ancestor was ranked 6th on the god list. Just as Lu Yiping and the others were flying towards the Sea God City, the Sea Tribe Grand Competition was being held in the central square. The Sea Tribe Grand Competition was the most important segment of the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. It was a competition between the Sea Tribe's younger generation disciples, and the top 3 would be rewarded handsomely. The Sea Tribe Grand Competition would not only be watched by the Sea Tribe, but also by the other tribes' experts who came to participate in the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. During a break in the competition, Huada, who was sitting beside the Sea God Temple's temple master, signaled to one of his subordinates. That expert understood and soared into the sky, landing in the center of the square. The Sea God Temple's expert swept his gaze over the various experts, and in the end, his gaze fell on Zhongzhong's group. "I've long heard that the Zhongzhong sect's silver light slash is powerful. This one's strength is weak, so I'd like to experience it. I wonder which one of the Zhongzhong sect's experts is willing to give me face and come down to spar." The Sea God Temple's expert said proudly. Hearing this, the various tribes' experts all looked towards the Zhongzhong sect. Everyone's expression changed. Clearly, this Sea God Temple's expert was targeting the Zhongzhong sect. Did the Zhongzhong sect offend the Sea God Temple? Or did they offend the Sea God Temple? Sea God Temple's temple master Huate glanced at his son, Huada, but did not stop him. He had already heard from his subordinates that his son, Huada, had been slapped by the Zhongzhong sect's expert. And the Zhongzhong sect's people should learn their lesson. The Zhongzhong's group did not expect that the Sea God Temple's expert would suddenly come down to spar with the Zhongzhong sect. The Zhongzhong sect's sect master, Yudawe, hesitated. "Our Zhongzhong sect's silver light slash is an insignificant technique. How could we dare to compare with the Sea God Temple's secret technique? There's no need to spar." Hearing this, Huada sneered, "What? Does the Zhongzhong sect disdain to spar with our Sea God Temple's experts? Are you looking down on our Sea God Temple?" Yudawe's face turned ugly. Could it be that one of his tribesmen had offended the Sea God Temple's young temple master? In the end, he forced a smile and said, "If that's the case, then my sect's expert will spar with the Sea God Temple's expert." Then, he signaled one of the Zhongzhong sect's experts to step down. That Zhongzhong sect's expert understood and leaped into the air, arriving at the center of the square. However, before this Zhongzhong sect's expert could speak, the Sea God Temple's expert was already in front of him. A fist punched out, directly piercing through the Zhongzhong sect's expert's chest, right through his heart. The Zhongzhong sect's expert's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at the hand that pierced through his heart. The Sea God Temple's expert's face twisted in anger. Chapter 232. What? Everyone was surprised. They didn't expect that the Sea Imperial clan's expert would suddenly attack. Moreover, his attack pierced through the Sea Emperor's heart. This was simply a killing blow. Was the enmity between the Sea God Palace and the Zephyr sect so great? The Zephyr Sect's sect master, Yudawe, and the others were also shocked, their faces filled with anger. At this time, the Sea Imperial Tribe's expert shook violently, sending the Zephyr Wind Sect's expert flying. Father! One of the Zephyr Sect's female disciples rushed to the side of the Zephyr Sect's expert. She sobbed as she glared at the Sea Imperial family's expert, despicable, shameless. Just now, before the competition started, the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts suddenly attacked. That was a sneak attack. However, the experts from all sides remained silent. The Sea God Tribe's experts sneered, exchanging pointers on the same stage. There is only victory and defeat, a loss is a loss. What, your Zephyr Wind sect can't afford to lose. Zhongzhong Lai was furious. At this moment, the Sea Imperial clan's expert suddenly threw a punch at the Zephyr sect's female disciple. Since you've stepped down, let's exchange pointers. The fist waves rolled and instantly blasted in front of the Zephyr sect female disciple. This Sea Sovereign clan expert was a peak late-stage Plane Lord, while the Zephyr sect's female disciple was only a heavenly god. If this punch landed, the Zephyr sect's female disciple wouldn't just have her heart pierced, she would explode. Just as the Sea God Tribe's expert was about to blast the Zephyr Wind sect's female disciple to death, a silhouette suddenly leaped into the air, blocking between the two, and punched out. The Sea Sovereign Tribe's expert's fist was blasted away, and he was forced to retreat. Everyone looked over and saw that it was the Zephyr sect's sect leader, Yudawe. Although Yudawe had just broken through to the Plane Master realm, he wasn't someone that a peak late-stage Plane Master could withstand. Yudawe had shown mercy earlier, and this Sea Imperial clan expert was sent flying instead of being repelled. Indifferent smile appeared on Huada's face when he saw Yudawe taking action. What he wanted was for Yudawe to take action. He would deal with Yudawe first and collect some interest. When Lai Feng Zhongzhong and his men returned, he would deal with them all on the way. Huada looked pleadingly at his father, Sea God Palace Master Huate. Huate nodded to one of his subordinates. That expert understood and flew into the air, landing in the middle of the square. Zephyr Wind sect's sect leader is really strong. The newly arrived Sea God Temple expert looked at Yudawe and said indifferently, however, you sneakily attacked a junior of my Sea God tribe. This is not befitting of a sect master. Just as Yudawe was about to open his mouth to defend himself, the Sea God's Hall expert suddenly sent a palm strike towards Yudawe. Planar laws roared as the palm strike tore through the air. Yudawe's face changed as he retreated in shock. Both of his hands slashed out and a wave of fire soared into the sky. It was the Zephyr Wind sect's silver light cut. However, the Sea God Temple's expert instantly shattered the silver light slash, and his momentum did not stop there. In the blink of an eye, he was already in front of Yudawe. Yudawe retreated in panic, but the Sea Deity Hall's expert was simply too fast. With an unstoppable momentum, he slammed into Yudawe's chest. Yudawe was sent tumbling back until he crashed into the plaza's barrier. The square was in an uproar. Everyone looked over in shock. They saw a fist imprint on Yudawe's chest. Although it hadn't been pierced through, his heart meridians had been shattered. Then, a large blade appeared in the Sea God Temple's expert's hand. His eyes were cold as he slashed down at Yudawe's head. The other party's speed was too fast. Even if Lai Feng Zhongzhong wanted to stop him, he couldn't. His face paled as he called out, Sect Master. Watching the large blade fall, Huada revealed a smile. Just as the other party's large blade was about to reach Yudawe's head, the sound of something breaking through the air came from the distant horizon. This was the sound of a sonic boom due to the extreme speed. Everyone looked over and saw a large silver blade emitting shocking flames piercing through the air. This silver blade's speed was unparalleled. Before anyone could react, it had already arrived in front of the Sea God Temple's expert. The Sea God Temple's expert reflexively raised his blade, wanting to block the attack. However, the silver blade directly pierced through the blade in his hand and into his chest. The Sea God Temple's expert was sent flying by the force of the silver blade. In the end, he and the silver blades stabbed into a stone pillar on the main stage. Clang! The silver blade pierced through the stone pillar. The stone pillar shook violently, shattering countless small stones. This sudden scene stunned everyone. Even the Zhongzhong sect and Sea God Temple's experts were dumbfounded. What happened? Did the Zhongzhong sect's expert save the Zhongzhong sect master? Someone asked doubtfully. Impossible, the Zhongzhong sect's 26 experts are all here. A human expert shook his head. The Sea God Temple's expert who was nailed to the stone pillar looked at the silver blade pierced through his chest in disbelief. He reached out to pull the silver blade out, but no matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't budge. His body's world laws surged, but even with all his might, he still couldn't pull the silver blade out. Not to mention pulling it out, he couldn't even move it. It was as if there was a supreme power attached to the silver blade. Seeing this, everyone looked at each other in dismay. Another Sea God Temple's expert also came to the front of the silver blade. 10 million world laws wrapped around his body as he tried to pull the silver blade out, but he couldn't. Just like this, the Sea God Temple's expert was nailed to the stone pillar by the silver blade, hanging high in the air like a hanging corpse. The Sea God Temple's Hall Master Huati's face was gloomy, but he didn't make a move. Instead, he looked in the direction the silver blade came from and shouted, "Which scoundrel dares to attack my Sea God Temple? Why don't you show yourself?" Just as Huati's words fell, he saw a streak of golden hair piercing through the air from the distant horizon. This streak of golden hair was very long, more than 10 meters long. It was as thick as a human thigh, and it shot towards Huati at a terrifying speed. What kind of hair is this? How can there be such a big hair in this world? Could it be the hair of the desolate golden dragon tiger? Even the desolate golden dragon tiger's hair isn't this big. Before everyone's shocked eyes, the golden retriever de Mao arrived in front of Huati in an instant. Huati roared and a long spear appeared in his hand. This long spear was several meters long, and it was also flickering with a golden light. He abruptly thrust the spear out. With Huati's power, the golden spear emitted a terrifying power. World laws coiled around the spear, reaching more than 30 million. Once one broke through 30 million world laws, they would be a late-stage world controller. Even in the void world, they would be a supreme overlord. There were many experts on the god list, but some were only peak late-stage world controllers. Huati's golden spear met de Mao's attack. Zheng! Light sputtered, and the sound of metal colliding echoed. Chapter 233. Just when everyone thought that Huati's spear would pierce through the golden retriever, which was bigger than a desolate golden dragon tiger's fur, Huati felt an unimaginable force rushing towards him. Pain shot up his arm, and he lost his grip on the golden spear. The golden spear in his hand was sent flying. The golden spear flew out from his hand, and when it was sent flying, the Sea God Temple's experts saw that Huati's golden spear was actually broken. Broken into several sections. The Sea God Temple's experts were shocked. They knew that their Hall Master's golden spear was a high-grade acquired spiritual treasure passed down from a sea tribe's invincible ancestor 200,000 years ago. But now, this upper-grade acquired spirit treasure golden spear had actually been shattered into several pieces. Huati also couldn't believe his eyes as he looked at the broken golden spear. This golden retriever, which was bigger than a desolate golden dragon tiger's fur, was so powerful. Could a single strand of hair be tougher than his high-grade acquired spiritual treasure? Was there such a terrifying hair in this world? In this world, what kind of demonic beast's fur could be so powerful? However, he didn't have time to think about it, because the golden retriever's speed did not slow down, and it was still flying towards him. He leaped into the air, letting out a loud roar. Light burst out from his eyes, and runes appeared all over his body, forming a black tortoise-shaped defensive barrier. Black Tortoise Barrier. The Sea Tribe's strongest defensive technique. With Huati's strength, even a late-stage Lord of Life Realm expert who was much stronger than him would have a hard time breaking this black tortoise barrier. A sea tribe ancestor with 10 million planar laws had once used this technique to fight against a powerful enemy. His enemy had 20 million planar laws, 10 million more than him, yet he still couldn't break through the black tortoise's barrier. From this, one could imagine how strong this barrier was. This black tortoise barrier was passed down from the ancient times, and even then, it was an amazing defensive technique. Huotei had confidence in this black tortoise barrier's strength. But, as a precaution, he still activated the defensive formation on his inner armor. Boom! When the golden retriever's giant hair slammed into the black tortoise barrier, black light burst out from the barrier. The black tortoise boundary formation emitted layers of black light, but right at this time, the black tortoise boundary formation seemed to be struck by an unimaginable force. The entire black tortoise boundary formation crumbled, completely dispersing. Then, the golden fur pierced Huotei's body. Almost at the same time, the defensive inner armor inside Huotei's body was also pierced. The golden hair, which was tens of meters long and as thick as a thigh, pierced through Huotei's chest without any resistance. The powerful force carried Huotei into the air and then pierced into another stone pillar on the rostrum. The huge golden hair pierced through the stone pillar, and the stone pillar was also pierced through. Everyone was stunned as they looked at Huotei, who was also pierced through and shot into the stone pillar. Huotei was the Sea Tribe Sea God's Temple Master, one of the top 10 Sea Tribe experts, and the host of this year's Sea Tribe Grand Competition. But now, he was pierced by a golden retriever and stabbed into a stone pillar on the main stage. Just because Huotei called him a scoundrel. This scoundrel was a little stubborn. Blood dripped down from the golden retriever. This was Huotei's blood. The other Sea God's Temple experts were also dumbfounded. Perhaps it was the other side's strength that shocked them, but no one dared to step forward. Huotei, like the Sea God's Temple expert, wanted to pull out the golden retriever from his chest. But even if he used all his strength, he still couldn't pull the golden retriever out. Huotei was alarmed. He raised his head and looked in the direction the golden retriever came from. Everyone followed his gaze and saw several figures approaching from the distant horizon. One of them was a blue-robed young man. The other was a golden retriever. To be exact, it was a golden retriever man. There were also 4 old men in their twilight years. Seeing that it was Lu Yiping's group, the Sea God's Temple Master Huoda was stunned. He couldn't believe it was them. Huotei looked angrily at Lu Yiping's group, who were slowly approaching from the horizon. Who are you? Many of the experts who had come to watch the Sea Clan tournament had attended Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong's birthday banquet. When they saw Lu Yiping, they looked as if they had seen a ghost. They were so scared that their faces turned pale. Lu Yiping, ranked 10th on the God ranking list. An ancestor said with a stiff tongue. Because of his stiff tongue, he couldn't speak clearly. But many experts still recognized him. What? Lu Yiping. Many people who didn't know Lu Yiping trembled when they heard him. In just 1 month, Lu Yiping had killed 2 experts on the God ranking list. The first impression that Lu Yiping gave the experts of the 17 planes was that he was a god of death. His ferocity was monstrous. If it had been an ordinary expert on the God ranking list, it wouldn't have been a big deal. More importantly, the one who had died was Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong, who had just ascended to 10th on the God ranking list. The Lord of 9 Stars had just ascended to 10th on the God ranking list. She hadn't even sat on the throne when Lu Yiping killed her in less than a day. When the Sea Goddess Palace's young Lord Huoda heard that the blue-robed young man in front of him was Lu Yiping, who had just killed the Lord of 9 Stars and replaced her as 10th on the God ranking list, he was so scared that he fell off his seat. Huotei and the other experts of the Sea Goddess Palace were so scared that they trembled. In the blink of an eye, Lu Yiping arrived in the air above the plaza where the Sea Clan tournament was being held. Huotei stared at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. My Sea Imperial clan didn't offend you, did we? You came to my Sea Imperial clan and attacked us for no reason. What is the meaning of this? Are you trying to make an enemy of the entire Sea clan in the scattered star seas? We didn't offend you. Lu Yiping said calmly, didn't your son tell you that we were the ones who slapped his face? Huate was stunned. He looked at his son. Lu Yiping continued, your son killed a member of the Tiger King clan on a deserted island. We ran into him and he wanted to silence us. When the experts heard this, they were instantly in an uproar. The Sea Goddess Palace's young lord killed a member of the Tiger King clan. Huate looked at Huade, but Huade avoided his gaze. After your son escaped, he told the Beast Clan's patriarch that we were the ones who killed him, Taurus Longjiao sneered. The crowd was in an uproar again. Huate stared at his son, Huade, his eyes almost spitting fire. Right now, he really wanted to slap this bastard to death. At that moment, Taurus Longjiao reached out and pulled Huade in front of him. Huate spoke, my son offended Lord Lu, not knowing Lord Lu's identity. I hope Lord Lu will forgive this lowly one's offense. But before he could finish, Taurus Longjiao exerted force, crushing Huate, and the Sea Tribe's experts' faces were ugly. Taurus Longjiao looked down at Huate, you want us to spare your son just because you say, forgive this lowly one? Then I'll crush all of you to death right now and then say, forgive this lowly one, how about that? Lu Yiping, you're too presumptuous. You came to my Sea Imperial City and killed my Sea Tribe's royal family's disciple. Huate's eyes burned with anger, let me tell you, my Sea Tribe is not the 9 Imperial City. My Sea Tribe has 7 God ranking list experts, 6,000 plain masters, and an army of 100 billion. Chapter 234. In the 17 plains, there were 100 experts on the God list. But the scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe occupied 7 of them. One had to admit that the Sea Tribe was strong. For example, the Eternal Plains Devil Dragon Palace and Kunpeng Divine Sect only had 1 or 2 plain masters. But the scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe had 6,000 plain masters. The scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe's army of 100 billion wasn't an ordinary army, but an army of 100 billion God realm experts. The weakest in the army was at the Divine Spirit realm. Although the scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe wasn't the strongest force in the 17 plains, they had the most Divine Spirit realm experts. Taurus Longjiao laughed at Huang Xiaolong's words, only 7 on the God list. Only 6,000 plain masters. An army of 100 billion? So little. It's not even enough for one slap from me. Huate and the other experts choked. 7 on the God list, little. Only 6,000 plain masters. Lu Yiping glanced at Huate, then suddenly punched out. Lu Yiping's fist emitted spacetime light, causing everyone's eyes to hurt. The force of the punch pierced through space and landed on Huate's body. A loud explosion resounded, and the stone pillar was sent flying, breaking into countless pieces. Huate, who was hanging on the stone pillar, was also sent flying. The huge golden retriever that was stuck in Huate's chest was blasted out from Huate's back. When Huate crashed to the ground, everyone looked over and saw his body shriveling, as if his vitality was being sucked out. Huate's hair was yellow, and his skin was shriveled. He looked like a dying man. Divine Time Fist. Many people were shocked. How can this Lu Yiping know the old Devil Time's Divine Time Fist? The old Devil Time was a terrifying existence from 200,000 years ago. And the current second on the God list was the old Devil Time's successor. Now that everyone saw that Lu Yiping also knew the Divine Time Fist, they couldn't help but stir. At this time, the Zephyr Sect's sect chief, Yudawe, stepped forward and bowed to Lu Yiping. Zephyr Sect's Yudawe, thanks Lord for saving us. It's nothing. Lu Yiping spoke, allowing Zephyr Sect's Yudawe to rise. Chiyu asked the Zephyr Wind Sect's sect leader, Yudawe, you're Yufei's disciple. Yudawe looked at Chiyu in surprise. May I know who you are? Chiyu said. Yudawe's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at Chiyu. Your martial uncle Chiyu? Chiyu nodded and sighed. I was imprisoned by someone. It was Master who saved me. Yudawe's face was filled with joy. Martial uncle, all these years, Master and the others have been looking for your whereabouts. If Master and the others know that you have returned, they will definitely be very happy. Let's leave this place first, Lu Yiping said. He then left the venue with everyone else. The Zephyr Sect's sect master, Yudawe, did not hesitate. He led the Zephyr Sect's experts and left with Lu Yiping and the others. After leaving Sea God City, Yudawe nervously invited Lu Yiping and the others to the Zephyr Sect. In a few days, I still have some matters to attend to. Lu Yiping said. He indeed had matters to attend to. Previously, he had asked the True Gold Union to help him inquire about the creation tree. Before leaving the barren island, the True Gold Union had sent him a message, saying that there was news about the creation tree. Therefore, he had to make a trip to the True Gold Union's headquarters. Previously, he had put a bounty of 100 million heaven-grade spirit stones on the True Gold Union's head. It was a huge sum. Therefore, he could directly go to the True Gold Union's headquarters to collect information. Hearing that Lu Yiping had matters to attend to and that he would go in a few days, the Zephyr Sect's sect master, Yudawe, was overjoyed. He said respectfully, Thank you, Lord. Our Zephyr Sect will be waiting for Lord's arrival. He then turned to Chiyu and said, Martial uncle, we will return to the Zephyr Sect first. Yudawe nodded. However, before leaving, Lu Yiping took out the tree ginseng and used its medicinal essence to heal Yudawe and the other two Zephyr Sect's disciples. Under the treatment of the tree ginseng's medicinal essence, Yudawe and the other two's injuries were quickly healed. Not only were they fully healed, but their strength had also increased with the help of the tree ginseng's medicinal essence. Yudawe and the others respectfully sent off Lu Yiping and the others. They waited for Lu Yiping and the others to disappear for a long time before returning to the Zephyr Sect. The True Gold Union's headquarters was in the Su family city of the Void Plain. The Su family city was one of the oldest and largest cities in the Void Plain. There were many legends about the Su family city. Some people said that the Su family, the largest family in the Su family city, was the descendant of the Master of Gods. In the Void Plain, among the top 10 super forces, the Maha clan was ranked first, followed by the Xiankong Island, the Disordered Star Ocean sect, the Star Ocean sect was ranked fourth, and the Su family was ranked fifth. The Su family had a strong foundation. Although they were ranked fifth, even the Xiankong Island, the Disordered Star Ocean, and the Star Ocean sect had to give way to the Su family. Su Yi, the great ancestor of the Su family, was ranked fifth on the divine roll, while the great ancestor of the Disordered Star Ocean was only ranked sixth. Moreover, some people said that the Su family had an existence that was even stronger than Su Yi. It was just that he had not appeared in the world for hundreds of thousands of years, so he was not ranked on the divine ranking. Some people also said that the Su family still had many terrifying methods. No matter which way it was said, everyone agreed that the Su family was far stronger than the divine ranking. When Lu Yiping and the others arrived at the Su family city, it was noon. The noon sun was a little strong. However, during the day, Taurus Longjiao liked noon the most because the noon sun was the brightest. His golden retriever was also the brightest under the noon sun. Looking at the bright sun in the sky, Taurus Longjiao touched the golden retriever on his head, making the golden retriever on his head shine even brighter. He liked to start from the front of his forehead and then comb it to the back of his head. Su Family City. Taurus Longjiao looked at the 3 words on the city gate of the Su family city and said, that kid Su Cheng had many women back then and left behind countless types. This Su family must be the seed left behind by one of his women. The Master of Gods, Su Cheng, naturally had many women by his side. As far as Taurus Longjiao knew, there were 20 to 30 of them. But this kid is still thinking about what's in his bowl. He has so many women, but he still can't forget Luo Shui, Taurus Longjiao said again. When it came to the Master of Gods, He Xia, Chiyu, Ba Dao, and Long Gu all listened attentively. Lu Yiping glanced at Taurus Longjiao. You had more women back then than that kid Su Cheng. Taurus Longjiao, who was combing his golden hair out of habit, froze. His expression was awkward. Master, you can't blame me for this. You also know that I'm too handsome. You do look a little special, Lu Yiping said, referring to the golden retriever. Taurus Longjiao saw that He Xia and the others were still listening attentively and couldn't help but give them a sideways glance. He Xia and the others immediately looked up at the sky. The clouds are so white today. Then, they began to count the clouds floating in the sky as if they were counting the stars. Lu Yiping smiled and stepped into the Su family city. He inquired about the location of the True Gold Alliance's headquarters and headed there. Soon, they arrived at the entrance of the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. They saw that the building of the True Gold Alliance's headquarters was made of golden materials that were even more golden than gold. Taurus Longjiao suddenly felt that his golden hair wasn't that golden. Chapter 235. He Xia, Qiyu, and the rest stared blankly at the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. It was also their first time seeing the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. Taurus Longjiao looked at the True Gold Alliance's shiny golden logo and said, "This True Gold Alliance is quite rich." There was a hint of dissatisfaction in his tone. Obviously, he was dissatisfied that the True Gold Alliance's building was more expensive than his gold head. However, this several meters tall logo was made with the rare gold star stone. Just a small piece of this gold star stone was worth an astronomical price. It was obvious that the True Gold Alliance was really rich. The True Gold Alliance was the largest information-gathering organization in the 17 Plains. At the same time, it was also the largest trading company in the 17 Plains. Every branch had a trading market. It would be strange if they were poor. Lu Yiping smiled and said, "When we go in later, ask if the True Gold Alliance's logo is for sale." Taurus Longjiao was stunned for a moment before he said solemnly, "I will listen to Master." He Xia and the rest were speechless. Lu Yiping and the rest entered the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. Knowing that Lu Yiping was here to receive information, the True Gold Alliance's disciple led Lu Yiping and the rest to the mission hall. There were a total of 10 halls in the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. Each hall was built with golden walls. It was dazzling. The materials used were not only gold but also expensive. It gave people a feeling of luxury. Even the floor tiles were dark gold in color. Taurus Longjiao said to the True Gold Alliance's disciple, "Your True Gold Alliance is quite rich. Your boss' surname is Jin, right?" The True Gold Alliance's disciple was stunned for a moment before he smiled and said, "I don't dare to say anything else, but our True Gold Alliance is indeed rich. Our alliance leader's surname is Jin." Taurus Longjiao was stunned. He did not expect the True Gold Alliance's alliance leader's surname to be Jin. He smiled and said, "No wonder your True Gold Alliance's buildings are all gold in color." The group arrived at the mission hall. There were quite a lot of people in the hall. It was bustling with activity. Lu Yiping came to the front desk, then took out the reward message token and handed it to the person in charge. The person in charge checked it carefully before he handed the jade token recording the message to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's spiritual consciousness seeped into the jade card and saw the information that the real Gold Alliance had gathered. The Su clan from the purgatory of Mahanata, Lu Yiping thought. According to the True Gold League, the Su family's patriarch had found the building tree block in the purgatory of Mahanata. The Su clan was the Su clan in the Su clan city. The purgatory of Mahanata was in the territory of the Mahanata clan. The person in charge of the information hall's front desk was a great beauty. The dragon horn golden bull asked with a smile, "Little girl, is your chief here? I want to buy something with him." The person in charge smiled and said, "What would you like to buy?" "This is the mission information hall. You can head over to our trading hall to take a look." Before Taurus Longjiao could say anything, Lu Yiping grabbed him by the neck and dragged him away from the front desk. Master, it's rare for you to come to the headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance. Shall we go to the trading hall and take a look? Taurus Longjiao asked. Lu Yiping nodded. In any case, the Su family was in the Su family city, so he wasn't in a hurry to go to the Su family. Hence, the few of them headed to the trading hall of the Real Gold Alliance. The trading hall was much bigger than the mission hall. Inside the hall, there were all kinds of materials, weapons, elixirs, divine pills, and treasures. The hall was divided into many sections, and in front of each section, there was a huge crowd. Lu Yiping and the others arrived at the back of the trading hall and strolled around. Suddenly, Lu Yiping stopped and looked at a box in front of him. On the side of the box, there was a sign, an item from the Phantom Demon King of the ancient demon clan. Previously, when he was in the Henyuan Plain, the 2 pieces of Dragon Han jade he obtained from the Prajna divine beggar Zhou Cheng were from the Phantom Demon King's cave dwelling. Later, he found a piece of the Builder Tree in the Phantom Demon King's cave dwelling. It was also the first piece of the Builder Tree he obtained. He was the one who nurtured that piece of Builder Tree into life. An item from the Phantom Demon Brat. Taurus Longjiao was surprised when he saw the box. Lu Yiping called the shop assistant over and asked, "How much is this box?" This box was just put up by the True Gold Alliance. However, we are not selling it for money. We are only exchanging it with items, the shop assistant explained. Lu Yiping asked, "What does the True Gold Alliance want in exchange?" The shop assistant shook his head. Our young alliance master did not say. He only said that if the other party offers him something that interests him, he can take the box away. Then he said, "However, there is an ancient array restriction on this box. Many of our True Gold Alliance's array masters are unable to open it." Lu Yiping's hand flashed, and he took out 2 drops of Star Chaos Water. "Star Chaos Water," the shop assistant exclaimed. Many people in the hall looked over, their eyes burning with desire. "Ask your young alliance master about these 2 drops of Star Chaos Water," Lu Yiping said. The shop assistant hurriedly used a communication talisman to report. Soon, he received a reply. "Our young alliance master said that the box can be exchanged with Star Chaos Water, but he needs 20 drops. The shop assistant said to Lu Yiping. He Xia and the others frowned. 20 drops of Star Chaos Water for a box that could not be opened? In their eyes, the True Gold Alliance was asking for too much. Sure. Lu Yiping's expression was calm. Another 18 drops of Star Chaos Water appeared in his hand and he handed it over to the shop assistant. However, just as Lu Yiping was about to take the box away, a voice suddenly sounded, "Wait." Lu Yiping and the others looked over and saw a young man walking over with his head held high, followed by a large group of experts. The shop assistant and the True Gold Alliance's experts hurried forward when they saw the young man. "Greetings, young Alliance Master." The young man was none other than the True Gold Alliance's young Alliance Master, Jin Yaobua. Jin Yaobua stopped in front of Lu Yiping and smiled. "I am the True Gold Alliance's young Alliance Master, Jin Yaobua. How should I address you?" Lu Yiping looked at the other side indifferently. "You've already accepted the 20 drops of Star Chaos Water. Why? Does the True Gold Alliance want to go back on their words?" Jin Yaobua laughed. "You've misunderstood. Our True Gold Alliance did not mean that. Our shop assistant misheard the number I mentioned. I said 120 drops of Star Chaos Water." The shop assistant was obviously stunned. Taurus Longjiao laughed, staring at Jin Yaobua. "I say, kid, you really think we're fat lambs waiting to be slaughtered? You said 20 drops, and now it's 120 drops. He paused for a moment before continuing. "If we take out 120 drops, won't it become 1,200 drops? One of the True Gold Alliance's experts' face sank, and he said to Taurus Longjiao, "Be careful with your words. Our True Gold Alliance's transactions have always been fair and just. Both sides are willing, we did not force you to exchange. Lu Yiping's face was calm. What if I have to use these 20 drops of star chaos water to take the box away? Jin Yaobo was stunned, and he smiled. For so many years, no one has ever snatched something from our True Gold Alliance's headquarters. I advise you not to do so. At this time, Taurus Longjiao reached out and the box was sucked into his hand. Chapter 236. Jin Yaobo and the rest were stunned. The True Gold Alliance expert's face turned cold as he clawed at Taurus Longjiao. You reckless fool, put that thing down. The realm energy surged wildly. This True Gold Alliance expert was a realm lord, and his realm energy had reached more than 30 million units. The dragon horn golden bull didn't even look at him. The golden bull's body glowed with golden light. The real Gold League's master only felt a terrifying force roaring towards him. His expression changed drastically. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. He was sent flying, smashing many things in the hall before he fell to the corner of the hall. There was a loud bang. The transaction hall of the True Gold Alliance was shaken. Jin Yaobo and the True Gold Alliance experts were stunned. In the hall, all the experts looked over in shock. You dare to cause trouble in the True Gold Alliance? You're courting death. Beside Jin Yaobo, a realm lord at the peak of the late stage suddenly punched at Taurus Longjiao. This realm lord's realm energy had reached more than 90 million units. Even if it was not as good as Chi Aoshi in Heaven Battling City, it was not far off. Taurus Longjiao's golden light continued to surge. This time, it was even more intense. The golden light around his body burst out like the sun. The realm lord at the peak of the late stage of the True Gold Alliance was blasted through the golden stone wall of the transaction hall and rolled to the mission hall at the side. Countless golden shards flew everywhere. The experts who were receiving messages in the mission information hall were frightened by the sudden explosion and hurriedly dodged. When the beautiful woman in charge of the mission hall saw the True Gold Alliance expert rolling into the hall, she was stunned. This True Gold Alliance expert was the deputy hall master of her mission hall. Then, she saw Taurus Longjiao through the hole in the stone wall. At this moment, Taurus Longjiao slapped Jin Yaobo's face hard. Slap! Jin Yaobo was sent flying by the slap. The beautiful woman's eyes widened. At this moment, in the main hall of the Su family residence, the True Gold Alliance leader Jin Liang, the Su family head Su Wen, and the Su family great ancestor Su Yi were sitting together discussing matters. The reason why the Real Gold Alliance set up their headquarters in the Su family's city was mainly because the Jin family and the Su family were old friends, and both families had always supported each other. At this moment, the atmosphere in the main hall was somewhat stifling. Jin Liang said with a solemn expression, Our Real Gold Union has received news that the Maha clan has been very close to the undead race in the past few years, and the Maha clan's young patriarch wants to marry the undead race's fourth princess. Is it the undead from the Chaos Dimension? Su Yi, the great ancestor of the Su family, said in a deep voice. Jin Liang nodded. It's the Chaos Dimension's undead clan. Everyone's heart sank. If the Maha clan really marries the undead clan, then the Maha clan's power will definitely increase greatly. The Su clan's patriarch, Su Wen, frowned. For us, this is a great disadvantage. The relationship between the Maha clan, the Su family, and the Real Gold Alliance had always been bad. If not for the support of the Su family and the Real Gold Alliance, they would have been swallowed up by the Maha clan long ago. If the Maha clan were to form a marriage alliance with the Undead clan, it would not be good news for the Su family and the Real Gold Alliance. Thinking of the Undead clan, everyone's hearts sank. Even with the Su family's background, when faced with the terrifying monsters of the Undead clan, their scalps went numb. Just as everyone was talking about the Maha clan and the Undead clan, suddenly, an expert from the Real Gold Alliance ran in a panic. Alliance Master, something happened in the trading hall of the headquarters. The young Alliance Master was beaten up. Jin Liang, Su Yi, and the others were stunned. What's going on? Jin Liang's face darkened as he asked. The expert from the Real Gold Alliance stammered, someone has taken a fancy to the ancient Phantom Demon King's box in the trading hall. Originally, the young Alliance Master had already agreed to exchange 20 drops of Star Chaos Water for it. However, after the other party took out 20 drops of Star Chaos Water, the young Alliance Master changed his mind and asked for 120 drops. Su Yi and the others were stunned as they looked at Jin Liang. Jin Liang's expression was ugly. The expert from the Real Gold Alliance continued, I seem to have heard that the second princess of the Maha clan asked the young Alliance Master to help her find 120 drops of Star Chaos Water a few days ago. These days, the young Alliance Master has been helping the second princess of the Maha clan search. When Jin Liang heard this, he was furious. That bastard! The Real Gold Alliance and the Maha clan had always been at odds. However, ever since his son, Jin Yaobua, saw the second princess of the Maha clan during a conference, he was completely infatuated with her. In the past 2 years, he had also warned his son. He didn't expect that this time, for the sake of 120 drops of Star Chaos Water, he would break the rules of the Real Gold Alliance. How is the young Alliance Master now? Jin Liang asked. The other party was very heavy-handed. The young Alliance Master's face was slapped until it was deformed and he kept vomiting blood. Not only the young Alliance Master, but Wu Yi and the other Deputy Hall Masters were also seriously injured by the other party. The other party is very strong. I'm afraid that he is not an ordinary plain master. The expert from the Real Gold Alliance continued, oh right, he is the guest who asked about the tree block. Oh, it's him. Jin Liang, Su Wen, and the others were surprised. A few years ago, Su Wen obtained a strange tree block in the purgatory of Maha. All these years, he couldn't find any results from his research. Su Wen even asked the Real Gold Alliance to help him investigate the origin of this tree block. A few days ago, the Real Gold Alliance's 9-star plane branch sent news that someone had offered a reward of 100 million heaven-grade spirit stones to find this tree block. Jin Liang even mentioned this to Su Wen. Alliance Master, the young Alliance Master's injuries are very serious. What do you think? The expert from the Real Gold Alliance asked. Jin Liang said in a deep voice, I will go back now. Although his son had broken the rules of the Real Gold Alliance, the other party had slapped his son in public at the headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance and injured several Deputy Hall Masters of the Real Gold Alliance. This made him furious. I will go with you to take a look. The Su family's patriarch, Su Wen, said. He also wanted to see who was looking for the tree block. Since I have nothing to do, I will go with you. The Su family's great ancestor, Su Yi, suddenly spoke. Jin Liang was stunned, then he was overjoyed. It would be great if Senior Su Yi could go with us. Thus, Su Yi, Su Wen, and the other experts from the Su family, followed Jin Liang to the headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance. The headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance was not far from the Su family's main residence. Soon, everyone arrived at the trading hall of the Real Gold Alliance's headquarters. When they arrived at the trading hall, Jin Liang was furious when he saw his son Jin Yaobua's face that was completely unrecognizable from the slap. He looked coldly at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Sir, you are too much. Jin Liang said angrily. Too much. Lu Yiping said calmly, it was your son who broke the rules first, and then it was your people from the Real Gold Alliance who attacked first. We are already being merciful by not killing him. When Jin Liang heard that the other party was being merciful, he could not help but be furious. Alright, then I will experience your skills. As he said this, the power in his body surged, and he suddenly threw a punch at Lu Yiping. As the Alliance Master of the Real Gold Alliance, Jin Liang's cultivation was naturally not weak. He was an expert on the divine ranking, and his ranking was much higher than Fu Zongsheng's. He was 46th on the divine ranking. Chapter 237. However, just as Jin Liyong's punch was about to reach Lu Yiping, runes suddenly appeared out of thin air in front of Lu Yiping. These runes instantly condensed into an array, and Jin Liyong slammed into it. Bang! The runic array did not move at all, but Jin Liyong was forced back and crashed into the people of the Su family. The head of the Su family, Su Wen, was shocked when he saw this. All the power in his body surged, and he pressed forward with his palm, trying to catch Jin Liyong. The head of the Su family, Su Wen, was a genius of the Su family. His cultivation was not weaker than Jin Liyong's, and he was also in the 40th place on the divine roll. However, just as the head of the Su family, Su Wen, pressed his palm on Jin Liyong's back, an unimaginable force pushed him back. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. The great ancestor of the Su family, Su Yi, was ranked 5th on the divine roll. His eyes shone brightly as he stood there. His robes fluttered without wind, and the power of the ancient god surged out from his body, causing the space to howl. Su Yi had stepped into the ancient god realm for many years. He was far from what the Lord of 9 Stars, who had just stepped into the ancient god realm, could compare to. The laws of the divine realm shot out from his body like wild dragons, shaking heaven and earth. Su Jiacheng was also shocked by the power of the ancient god. All the experts in the city were shocked. The power of the ancient god. Which ancient god came to Su Jiacheng? Could it be the great ancestor of the Su family, Su Yi? Who angered Lord Su Yi? Under the power of Su Ye's ancient god, everyone in Su Jiacheng felt as if their chests were being pressed down by thousands of mountains. While everyone in Su Jiacheng was shocked, Su Yi suddenly pressed his palms on the backs of Jin Liyong and Su Wen, trying to catch them. However, just as Su Ye's palms were about to touch their backs, Su Yi felt his arms shake violently, and a vast power came crashing towards him. This power far exceeded his strength. The power of the ancient god that he had always been confident in was instantly destroyed. The laws of the divine realm on his body instantly shattered and broke apart like brittle pieces. Su Yi was also forced to retreat continuously. The great ancestor of the Su family, Su Yi, ranked 5th on the divine roll, could not catch Jin Liyong and Su Wen. In the end, Su Yi, Jin Liyong, and Su Wen, 3 experts on the divine roll, crashed into the golden stone wall of the trading hall at the same time. The golden stone wall flew backward and shattered into pieces. In the end, the 3 of them fell to the ground outside the trading hall. The golden bricks on the ground all collapsed. The experts of the Real Gold League and the Su family were stunned. The experts who came to the Real Gold Alliance to trade looked at Su Yi, Jin Liyong, and Su Wen, who had fallen on the ground outside the trading hall. They were all dumbfounded. Jin Yaobua, whose face had been completely deformed by the slap, looked at the blue-robed figure and his entire body trembled. He seems to be Lord Lu Yiping, ranked 10th on the god list. In the distance, an expert said with uncertainty. 10th on the divine list. Lu Yiping. The scene was in an uproar. Su Yi, Su Wen, and Jin Liyong were shocked. This young man was Lu Yiping, who had killed Fu Zangsheng and the Lord of 9 Stars in a row. Su Yi, who was ranked 5th on the divine list, had a look of disbelief on his face. At this moment, a dignified voice suddenly came from the Su family's ancestral land. Su Yi, invite this young friend into our Su family's ancestral land. I have something to discuss with him. When Su Yi heard this voice, he ignored his injuries and quickly stood up. He bowed and said, "Yes, old ancestor." Everyone was shocked. It had always been rumored that there was an existence stronger than Su Yi in the Su family. However, it was just a rumor. No one knew whether it was true or not. Now that they saw Su Ye's respectful attitude, everyone was shocked and doubtful. They wondered if it was that legendary existence. Su Yi came in front of Lu Yiping, cupped his fists, and bowed. He said, "I didn't know Lord Lu's identity earlier and offended you. Lord Lu, our old ancestor would like to invite you in." May I know if Lord Lu would like to meet you? Lu Yiping glanced at the Su family's ancestral land and said, "All right, I will go with you to the Su family's ancestral land." Su Yi was overjoyed and said respectfully, "Lord Lu, please." The two of them flew into the air and left. Everyone looked at each other. After arriving at the Su family's ancestral land, Su Yi stopped in front of a palace in the depths of the Su family's ancestral land. Lu Yiping went in alone. The palace was very spacious. It was 1,000 feet tall. The stone pillars were made of a dark ore. A mind-gathering array was carved on each stone pillar. Cultivating in this place would allow one to have strong vitality and abundant qi and blood. Just as Lu Yiping walked into the center of the palace, a figure suddenly flashed. A white-haired old man appeared in front of Lu Yiping. The old man was extremely skinny, but his eyes were as deep as the stars. "Young friend, you are strong." The old man smiled gently. "May I know which sect you are from?" This little old man might know the elders of your sect. Lu Yiping did not speak. He threw a token over to the old man. The old man took the token and was shocked when he saw it. His calm and confident smile was no longer there. The 10,000 deities token. He looked at Lu Yiping in shock. "How do you have our ancestors' 10,000 deities token?" At this moment, Lu Yiping's fingers bent at an unbelievable angle and made a strange gesture. The gesture did not look special, but it exuded an aura of supremacy. Seeing this gesture, the old man's eyes widened. He thought of an ancient legend and record. He looked at Lu Yiping in disbelief, as if he had seen a ghost. In ancient times, Lu Yiping did not have a token. This gesture represented his identity. After so many years, others might not recognize this gesture, but the direct descendants of Su Cheng, the master of 10,000 deities, should recognize it. "You are." The old man still could not believe that the young man in front of him was that existence. Lu Yiping's expression was calm. Behind him, totems flew out one after another. These totems included the heaven-splitting devil god, the ancestral dragon, the phoenix, and the qilin. Each totem had 100 million laws of the divine realm. There were a total of 49 totems. The 49 totems emitted a dazzling light that filled every corner of the hall. Under this pressure, the old man was forced to the ground. His face was full of disbelief. For experts above the ancient god realm, when they comprehended 10 million laws of the divine realm, they could condense a totem. When they comprehended 20 million laws, they could condense a second totem. Generally speaking, 10 totems was the limit. Only a few monstrous geniuses who obtained great opportunities could break through this limit and condense 11 totems. In the past, the master of 10,000 deities condensed 13 totems. But the Lu Yiping in front of him had a total of 49 totems. Moreover, each of Lu Yiping's totems had 100 million laws of the divine realm. Su Rong greets Lord. The old man knelt down in excitement. According to the historical records, the revered one of the ancient era broke through all the shackles of the world and condensed 49 totems. This shocked the myriad of worlds, becoming the only miracle in the myriad of worlds. Su Wen stood outside the hall, unaware of the situation inside. After waiting for a long time, he still did not hear Lu Yiping and Su Rong's voices. He could not help but feel puzzled. At this time, the hall's doors opened. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.